Start over, start over. Okay, good. Welcome, and welcome everybody to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning. Got an absolutely amazing broadcast lineup for you this morning. And my thing is, I want to invite you. I want to invite you to come and to enjoy. Let me see. Let me mute my thing here. Hold on one second. Got three or four things going on here. There we go. Bingo. I want you to come and enjoy this conversation we're gonna have today. And I want to let you know that it actually sparked from something. I actually watched the broadcast. Let me see. It's fairly good. Okay, we got stuff falling all over the place. Lord, my Jesus, what is really going on in and around? Chum? But listen, I was looking at church service. You know, majority of the church that I go to, we're actually doing it virtual, only letting a few people in the building because of this whole COVID situation. You know how that is, this whole COVID situation. And I was watching the church service over the weekend. I was looking at the church service over the weekend, and what happened was now what is going on with my thing here? It says just shut off on me. Let me see here. Let me okay. All right. It said that I'm live, so let me see. Remove it and bring it back up. Something that's going on with my thing here this morning. So y'all bear with me and bring it back up. There we go. Bingo. And as I was saying, most people are going virtual. Most people are going virtual with their church services right now. Most people are going virtual because of the whole COVID situation, the whole the pandemic that we got going on right now. So I was sitting at home and I was watching the church service, and this particular church that I go to, they do a lot for the community. They do a whole lot of different things for the community, and they would right now they're doing something called a sock in the shoe drive, a sock in the shoe drive, and they was asking people to bring out socks and shoes, and they're going to go out and distribute it throughout the community, which I think is a beautiful thing. Is a beautiful thing. I think so. And what happened was um, the pastor was up there and was talking about how they had to go through a lot of the stuff that was given. And she was saying, well, look here, y'all make sure, y'all make sure that y'all give something that you want. Don't just give stuff, don't just go through your closet, pull out old shoes, run down regular laid over shoes, socks that are dirty, dingy, with holes in them and things like that. She said, don't do that. She said, don't give it to. She said, don't give away things that you wouldn't want yourself, that you wouldn't want to use yourself or utilize yourself. She said, don't do that. And that's where this topic that I have today came from. And the topic is this: do not give, do not give what you don't want. Why would you give somebody something? Yes, yes, the people are in need. Yes, people have things that they really need, and they may not be able to afford them. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there trying to get them from somebody else. Um, but so my thing is this right here: please, please don't give to people things that you don't want yourself. Don't do that. Don't do that. She was saying that a lot of stuff that was given, that people took the time, go through their closets and take out and give to these people with things that was not desirable. They were not desirable. They say the socks was dingy, dirty and dingy. Shoes was ran over, maybe had holes in them. Socks had holes in them, and so she said that she would not go out there and give anybody that. She would give that to people. She said she wouldn't do it. She wouldn't feel right going out there giving people stuff like that. That she know that the people that gave would not want to give, would not want to wear. And so she said she ended up having a majority of the stuff that was given. She had to throw it away. She had to throw it away because it wasn't something that people wanted. So my thing is, and our topic today is this: don't give things that you don't want. Don't give things. Don't go out here giving people stuff that you don't want yourself, that you wouldn't wear yourself. Like it's a garbage bin, like you're just trying to throw it away. Don't give something that don't give. I'm sorry. The topic is give from the heart, not what you no longer want. Give from the heart, not what you no longer want. Captain Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem. How are you this morning, family?
Hey, doing good, bro. Look here. I'm gonna tell you something. Shh, can't nobody hear this but me and you, okay? Can't nobody hear this but me and you. Man, I'm tired as I don't know what, man.
Take your butt to sleep.
Man, no, I had a video shoot last night, man, and I ain't get home. I didn't get home last night, man, till well after 12.
Oh, you old man.
Thank you, brother. I sure appreciate it. But man, look here. I ain't get home till after 12 last night, man. I was like, man, yeah. And it was on the other side of Atlanta. So when the event finally finished, I had a 40 or well, might as well say an hour drive to get home.
Oh yeah. That's what it's like at night, and I said in the A.
Yes, sir. People don't realize, man, how the traffic is down here. People don't realize. How was your weekend, brother?
Oh man, it was slow.
Good. So you got some rest. I need to borrow some of your rest, brother. I need to borrow it right now.
Ain't say nothing about no rest.
Okay. Okay. Tell everybody about the dominoes and politics.
You know what? It is so funny, Raheem. Even though I say good morning in the morning to a family, I'm so used to hearing someone else.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize we were. Are we on the air, right?
Yeah, we live.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But you never told me.
Well, man, look. Man, it's 7:18. Hey, you know,
so funny is,
you know I get started on time.
You know how sometimes you be talking and you be trying to leave me somewhere. And I never figure it out after the fact, right?
Exactly. Oh, he was trying to get me to go there. Oh, yeah. I was really
used to hearing other things in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, of course, and I'm sure many are not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Things are not going to go just smoothly.
Yeah.
So it's government is an active thing. It's not a bunch of rhetoric.
Mm-hmm.
So you see a lot of bills moving. You see what happens. We still have individuals that are still part of this insurrection, still planning other things while acquitting the main individual.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So do understand, it's not over until it's actually over.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll be amazing for America one day to actually be leading with people first.
Mm-hmm.
That's really my measuring stick. Is America leading people first or corporations first?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where the pushback is for a lot of things that are going on. The Biden administration has signed and pushed a lot of bills and things like that simply because of a lot of issues that have to be corrected.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a lot of things that were being done while we were paying attention to people arguing back and forth and giving their opinions. We forgot that there were actual bills and laws and things being changed.
Mm-hmm. Right before our eyes.
So now, not only have you all see the reinvestment in fighting the pandemic, which everyone at this point should agree that is a serious priority in this nation.
Absolutely.
But I'm so disheartened at the fact with this weekend that we've seen so many gatherings of individuals unmasked.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Come on, America, man.
And like I said, I was actually at I was actually at an event last night, Leonard. And truth of the matter, not a lot of people had on their masks. I might have been one of 5 people. The guy at the door, he had his mask on the whole time. The owner of the place had a mask on. I know I had my mask on the whole time. I ain't even take my mask off. I got out my car with my mask on. and got in my car and took my mask off. The only time it came off when I got in my car. Everybody looking at me like I'm strange, man. No, I'm not standing around y'all, man. No. No disrespect. No disrespect, but I know. No, I won't.
Like I say, I don't trust nobody. Because this to me is just like it's just easier to catch.
Exactly. And I don't have time for it, brother. I ain't got no time for it.
I'll tell you, irresponsibility. I've lived too long now to not want to take precaution for some things, bro.
Throw it all the way at the end.
Dude, some people just slam their head right into the brick wall. Just little stuff. I've done so much horrible. It's the little stuff.
Yep.
That I can do. I got to do. You know what I'm saying? But it's just terrible, man. I've seen a NASCAR event, and then even with the Super Bowl, these things are not critical to life.
Exactly. I tell people all the time, man, stuff like that is not to die for.
No, it's not. But we know a lot of people die for a lot of stupid reasons. There's a lot of irresponsibility. And just downright just stubborn, you know?
Exactly.
So I've been trying to take all the precautions that I can. But you got to think. You got people knowingly eat stuff that kill them, drink too much, do too many drugs, do everything. So a lot of people don't have the same concern for life like other people have.
And they don't mind taking you out.
Some people, it is gas.
And they don't mind taking you out. Taking you out along with them.
They don't mind at all. They don't mind at all. So that's what we up against, really. That's the same sentiment with a lot of these people that are participating in the insurrection or whatever. They don't really care nothing about nobody else. They just go based on their feelings every day, how they feel about everything. They don't care about nobody, just how they feel.
And that's all that matters to them, and it's sad.
And some people are like that, and we make fun and everything. But think about the number of people that you associate with that really are not concerned about the welfare of others. There you go, the Republican Party.
There you go. Exactly. Because them jokers would not put on a mask and save nobody's life.
No, they're just ignorant for no reason at all. For no good reason at all. They're supposed to be leaders in this country. And that's what makes me so upset is because, one, you grow up believing that the older you are, the smarter you become. But that is not true.
No.
That is just not true. And I'm ashamed at the fact of some of these people that I have known who are just stupid. I've blocked family members and things of that nature just for even considering this type of ignorance.
Leonard, one of the things we're talking about this morning is gonna shift it up a little bit. A lot of churches right now are having this service, but they're doing it virtually because of this very thing we're talking about, this pandemic that's going on. They don't want to jeopardize the members, so they're doing a virtual service. And so I was at home last night yesterday during the daytime, wasn't last night, watching the church service on the computer. And our church do a lot in the community. As a matter of fact, our bishop, he's gone home to glory now, but our bishop was ordained as a bishop by Pop. And
okay.
Yeah, and a couple of times, man, Pop, he came over to the church, and that's the first time I saw him. He came, he spoke at the church because and Bishop was there, and he said, look, this, he spoke so highly of him, and I looked, I said, oh man, this dude must be somebody here, and he said, man, he said, look, and when I became a bishop, this is the very man that ordained me as a bishop. I'm like, wow. I said, okay. Said his name and everything. He came up there, man, and just one of the best dudes you ever want to meet, man. I ain't got to tell you. And and man, he spoke and everything, man. Tore the church up.
Oh yeah.
Tore the church up, bro. And so I was like, man, Bishop, I know, and I told him, I said, Bishop, I know where you get it from now. I know where you get it from. But But that thing about Pop do so much, and still to this day, man, Pop do so much for the community, man. People won't realize everything that man do for the community. People won't realize everything that he do. He do a lot through, through himself, the church, and stuff like that. And so that kind of filtered over to the church that I go to. And the bishop took on that same mindset. Well, he's gone home to glory, and his wife actually took over, and she's doing the same thing. And she was saying yesterday, she said that when they're getting ready to do this shoes and socks giveaway situation. And I was like, oh, okay, that's good. And then she went on to say this. She said, let me tell y'all something. I've been collecting things. I've been getting pictures from people for stuff that's being collected. And she said, it breaks my heart. She said, y'all are bringing stuff in here, dingy socks. Y'all going through your closet and pull out stuff that y'all don't want. Dingy socks with holes in them, run over shoes and stuff like that. She said, I will not give that to anybody. She said, I'm not going to give that to anybody. She said, though, they may need shoes and socks and stuff like that, but she said, but I'm not going to give them something that I would not wear. She said, so don't come here. If you're going to give stuff like that, she said, don't give. She said, don't give, because, you want to give people something that they can be able to wear and appreciate. And so she said this right here, give from your heart. If you're going to give from your heart. And our topic today is give from your heart, not what you no longer want. You'll be amazed how many people just go through their closet and find stuff that they no longer want. Oh, I don't want this. I don't want this. They'll try to give to people, and it's not in the best situation. So, Leonard, what do you say to that?
Man, I looked over there and I thought that was your topic today when we started talking.
Yeah.
I owe that to my short-term memory. But anyway, there's the way I would rather approach the situation.
Come on. Okay.
There should be a criteria set before you solicit. If you have one. Now, I understand what had to be done if it had gotten to that point. But I don't care for the way it was communicated. There has to be a better job done at that. And there are different types of drives that you have. There are drives where people ask for those things that you aren't using anymore. Those things that are slightly loose or what have you, because I usually have, there's some organization that comes by our house and schedules for the pickup of all types of things, housewares, old stereo equipment, even furniture they'll make an arrangement to pick up. But now, if you want a certain type of drive, you have to put that criteria out there first. If you want new things, then that's what you say. You want new things. But they have whole stores based on vintage wear, they call it.
Yes.
And all these other types of things. However, if your giving is so blessed and in kind that you're willing to finance all new things, then do that as well and give them away. But now there are some things people give, and if they're not fit for giving to someone else, then you discard.
Yeah.
But you need to set that criteria out there first, so you don't have to deal with it at all. Because I've seen that, if you want new coats, say you want new coats.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we have a lot. And so the things that we're wearing every day, someone would love to have those things.
Absolutely.
I don't buy new clothes every day.
Not for yourself.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Not even for yourself.
I wash my clothes and I wear them again and again and again. So I'm not sure what the response was to the call, but it should be clarified.
Yeah, because what she was saying, man. Some of the stuff that came in, she wouldn't wear it and she wouldn't give it to anybody. So I understand what you're saying.
Okay, like I said, that's my personal opinion. But there are some people out there ain't got nothing. So you didn't ask for trash.
Exactly. And I think that's a point right there.
And don't take it for granted that everybody knows what you're looking for. You have to tell people that. And that cuts down a lot of confusion, especially when you're trying to organize any effort, you got to be very specific. Very specific.
So folks, so what I'm hearing you say is folks will go through their closet and do that very thing, just give you something that they don't want no more, or I'm not gonna be able to word this, or man.
Well, that is what the majority of people do. Who goes out and buys new things for a clothes giveaway? I'm not saying people don't do it. But that's the whole thing about it, is because you have so much excess. You don't need them 30 coats in your closet.
Exactly.
Share one with someone. You think a person out there sleeping under the bridge caring not about whether that coat was warm before?
More concerned is that coat gonna keep me warm, basically.
Yeah, people with stuff in their closet with tags on. They bought it because they enjoy shopping. But everybody ain't sitting around with a bunch of new stuff to give away. So the criteria is what is important. Put that out there first before you solicit. Because I know that we used to do that quite a bit. Hey, this is what we need. We're looking for coats this size. We're looking for kids' clothes this size. And you know, we'll take anything and we'll sort it out and do what we need to do to it before we give it away.
Now, even with that, did you at time get things that you knew you couldn't give to anybody?
Yeah, there are quite a few things that come in that other people may not want, but those are things you have to be creative. I mean, there was one lady, she used to donate things to an organization, and man, these were very nice things, but it was all types of things, household wares. But she just loved to shop. And she just wound up with a house full of things just cluttered. And so she would get a van and bring all these nice things down. Some of them slightly used, not used at all, curtains, you name it. She would bring. But the care that she took with preparing those things to bring made all the difference in the world.
Then you say she had to rent a van. She had that much stuff she was bringing.
Man, come on, man. We have people with a lot of stuff. Some of us I'm looking right now at cases of stuff. Shoes barely worn. All in plastic boxes and everything. These are things that I may not want, but somebody else would love to have them. You know how we used to do when you got kids coming up behind your kids and you buying clothes and all those things. That stuff is expensive. So, you know, we got what we call the hand-me-down.
Yeah.
And while black folks talking about hand-me-down, they got stores that don't do nothing but sell stuff other people have worn before. And they make very good money.
It's called what, secondhand stores? Or they just call it secondhand stores?
He just actually went to ask to go to Goodwill. Because he's in the skateboard. And I guess the kids wear vintage clothing on skateboard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm so glad that we didn't raise our kids so materialistic and things of that nature, to where it's more important that you got clean clothes that fit than somebody looking at.
Exactly. But you have some individuals, Leonard, I'm gonna tell you something, man. The only thing they care about is name brand. If it ain't name brand, they don't want it. They don't want to wear it. They don't even bring it into their house.
But I bet you the people that don't have anything aren't like that.
Exactly. Now, our topic today is that everybody give us a call, 678-381-1973, 678-381-1973. Give from your heart, not what you no longer want. Give from your heart, not what you no longer want. Because I'm going to tell you something, Leonard, I didn't grow up rich. And because of the fact that I did not grow up rich, I learned to appreciate the things that my mama could afford. Well, my grandmother, because my grandmother raised me, well, my grandmother could afford, and she would bring me some. A lot of time, it would be from a place like Goodwill or someone like that, secondhand, if you will. But we grew up to appreciate it, and we did not care what other people thought. And I knew that Mama, when she went out there, I called her Mama, when she went out there and bought something for me, it was from her heart. And so, how dare I complain about this ain't this or this ain't that or this ain't Adidas or this ain't blase blase? How dare I do something like that, Leonard?
Like I said, a lot of people have a lot of strange ways, and that's one of the big things. When if you like one, I never was into Jordans and things like that. And I mean, I didn't get off on that stuff because it didn't really make sense to me. It looked nice, you know. But at the end of the day, I wasn't no label whore either.
Yeah, exactly.
I like nice things. I have nice things. I like nice things. But I don't expect other people to provide them for me. So I didn't do it as a kid, you know. But that's why it was so important for me to have a job. Because I've worked ever since I was 13. So I was very much into making my own money and buying those things I need instead of always having my hand out.
Exactly. Man, I'm gonna tell you something, man. She told, excuse me, and she told me what she didn't tell me. She was saying over the video, but I was still watching it. But she was saying how some of the stuff, man, was just so, and she made it like it's just so terrible. Some of the stuff that was.
Well, yeah, I mean, some people, if they had something sitting out for the trash, now that's a little different. Because, like I said, you have to specify slightly used, if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Don't take it. So I remember, back in the day when we used to have church, you used to have a visiting church come, right? And, before the visiting church get there, the pastor and then had a talk with the member. Let our guests eat first.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like that for me when it comes to certain situations that we're thinking about who we serve first. So we want to make sure that they are all right. So guess what? Sometimes when you have a big drive, you might as well pull up a dumpster or have a truck nearby. Because a lot of times, like you say, some things you cannot go, they may be broken, can't be used. Or like you said, some people assume that you don't wash the clothes before you give them away. Or that whomever's giving, because sometimes you ask those questions. If someone says, like, if you're going to donate to the shelter, you call down there and ask the shelter what they need. Just don't go down there with a truck full of stuff.
Yeah.
They may not have no way. Even like, you ever have a giving so overwhelming that you don't even have enough places to put the stuff. So if you're planning those things, also plan a little prep party after that, because you may have to go through things.
Yeah.
But I don't like to discourage people just up front. It's better to say slightly used. Or just right out ask for new.
Let me change gears a little bit, Leonard. The heart of man. And I say man, but I mean both man and woman. But the heart of man, to even give something like that, Leonard, is something wrong with our heart, man?
Well, you making it sound you making it sound a little bit worse, I think. I think you're making it sound a little bit worse. Now, you got to get more clearer, excuse me, about what was brought. Dirty underwear, no.
Well, it was made like I said, it was shoes. It was like shoes and what she said, it was shoes and socks is what it was. What the drive was based on, and she said that the stuff that was bought was terrible. So some of the stuff I'm not gonna say all the stuff. Some of the stuff that was bought was terrible.
Well, you mean did you say new shoes?
I don't know if she did that or not. I can't speak on that.
You've been to a secondhand store. You see what those shoes look like, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see what they reselling, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Was it worse than that?
I'm imagining. Like I said again, I didn't see him, but I'm imagining from the way she described it, probably so.
I'm just saying that the shoes I got holes in.
Mm-hmm.
If you give me a pair that ain't got holes in them, I don't came up.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. If you ever not had before, or you ever been in a tough situation where you ain't had no coat, and it's cold outside, you just need a coat.
You just need a coat. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. It's like I used to put stuff in I tell people, and if you want to folks like the new, when you go to dollar stores and you see ponchos and things like that, oh, these ain't but $1. Get 5 or 10 of them and throw them in your trunk. So when you see somebody, boom, you got stuff in your trunk. Mm-hmm. And it's brand new. Mm-hmm. It's like toiletry packs. You put them together for homeless people. Make a little box of them if you want to and put them in the back of your car so when you see the homeless people, you got the toiletry packs in your car.
Mm-hmm. Ready to go.
But if you're going to do something and you want it a certain way, you need to communicate that clearly.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Yeah, because like I said again, man, the way she gave it to me, the way she handed it out there. I keep saying to me, it wasn't to me specifically, but you know what I mean. The way she put it out there, man, was it was some terrible things that came in that they just had to pretty much, like you said, pour the dump stuff and just throw it away because they couldn't do anything with it.
Right, and some people will do that. The stuff they was gonna throw away anyway. You said you wanted it. Mm-hmm. I got some broken printers. To some people, that's stuff that they can use for products and fix. Mm-hmm. So knowing that, I look for people who refurbish stuff to give to them. If they, Apple computer equipment, I may not want it, but they may want it. Mm-hmm. That couple computers that just completely outgraded or whatever. Somebody may be able to take and salvage that. Mm-hmm. So it's better for you to say what you don't want up front, so you don't have to worry about it.
You ain't got to worry about going through the whole process of trying to clean it up and make it presentable.
No, because you know what it's like to have to clean your own closet out, right?
Mm-hmm. That's a job there, brother.
Man, let me tell you, and think about it. With all the things going on, it's sad to think about it, but with people passing, you have to clean out your parents' house. They have clothes and all these other types of things. So instead of us, I just think things should be done a lot more appropriately. Mm-hmm. And communication is the best way.
Absolutely. Now let's go to another part of giving. When you give somebody something, and our topic is, and we're going to cover a lot of the layers here. Give from the heart, not what you don't want, but we're going to switch it up just a little bit. Give from the heart. What do you say to somebody that if they give you something, Leonard, and I'm talking specifically to you this time. Most of the time I say don't personalize it, but I want to hear your heart on this. Mm-hmm. Somebody do something for you, and they come along in a time where you need help or whatever it is, and they help you out. They do something for you, and then the next 3-4 months, year or so, that's all you hear about. Man, you remember when you was in that situation? I helped you and blah blah blah. Man, you remember I did this for you and blah 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 blah. Then at what point do you get tired of hearing that? At what point do you tell them to just, okay, look, that's enough? I was gonna say some other words, but you just say that's okay, that's enough, bro. Okay, we I understand. Leave it alone. At what point?
Oh man, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. Well, y'all gotta stop dealing with people with that type of character. Mm-hmm. But that type of character up front.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's why a lot of reasons you don't accept a lot of things. But me, I am known for letting you, like say for instance, we're gonna pay that debt, whatever it is, and it's good.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I'm not the type of person that you go on and on anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so a lot of times we you know, that environment that I be telling people about, your personal space. Y'all got to get some people out of y'all personal space.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some people that ain't, you know, some friends ain't worth having.
You got that right.
They're just not.
Mm-hmm.
And those people that you know how, that's why I didn't get into a lot of this reality TV stuff. Because I don't understand why, if you don't like somebody, you would always be around them like that.
Mm-hmm.
It don't make sense to me.
Especially,
you know, if you got a person that you know, and I mean, a lot of people are probably aware of the type of people, like you said. You do one thing and now they holding it over your head. How do you know that about the person?
Mm-hmm.
And if this is your first time, make it your last time.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And make that person let you know. I mean, just like they being ridiculous about it, ask them what it's going to take for them to quit mentioning it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because now you're making me feel some type of way. Now you're making me wish I'd have never asked you.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And now I don't want you around.
And see, and that's the thing right there. A lot of people, man, they do that, and for whatever reason. My thing is, if I'm gonna do something for you, I'm doing something first. I can help you, and I have the ability to do it. Now, you ain't got. As a matter of fact, I would love to give somebody, man, and in an envelope, have it sent to the house, and would not even a return address or nothing like that, so you don't know where it came from. So that way, you ain't got to worry about like you owe me nothing or know where it came from or whatever. Just take care of your business. Take care of your business. But you go ahead.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, because
how people, you know, it's just start moving people with undesirable behavior and character out of your circle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, you should be comfortable around people that lie all the time.
Mm-mm. Unless you got some lying in you.
Fiend all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got it everywhere you go. It's going to be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even like to go places with people who complain about the food all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You should stay home.
Exactly.
Because you're not looking really. You know, some people just too much. For me, they are. Personally,
mm-hmm.
Some people are just too much. Which is the reason why I don't be in people's face all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're too much, and you know me, man. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. But you do it. Yeah, you have the people out there, man. And it's almost like sometimes I think they live their life just to be able to throw something back up in somebody's face.
They do. That's that spirit about them.
Mm.
That's what you have to be aware of, because that's what I said. You know, it's not every little instance or issue. It's your overall character.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to get upset every now and then.
Oh yeah.
What's wrong with that at all?
Mm-hmm.
But to always be that way.
Every day.
You don't have to like everything.
Mm-hmm.
To complain about everything all the time. If you ruin everybody else's time all the time,
mm-hmm.
things are going just great at lunch, and then you say something stupid all the time.
Mm-hmm. It's always surrounded by you.
And enjoy themselves because of you
mm-hmm.
all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Who wants to be around that person?
Not me. Not I, sir.
I don't know. Some people are drama. Some drama people out here.
Yeah.
And they always start stuff whenever you go around. You know how you just learn over a period of time to not be around a bunch of certain types of people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's like. I don't like the kind.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Exactly.
I tell you that. So you don't make the mistake, keep coming around and think I like you, and I don't.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But like just like you said, though, Leonard, you got some people, man, they just love the drama, and it's almost like moth to the fire. They attract each other, and then you find a whole group of them over there talking about this, talking about that, complaining about this, complaining about that, but ain't doing nothing to stop or eliminate the situation or the problem, the issue, whatever it is.
I like the way you said that because it makes more sense. As often as I've heard that song by Janet Jackson, you know, that's the way love goes.
Yeah, yeah.
And she says that in that song.
Now,
like a moth is drawn to a flame.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That makes that just when you said it, I thought about it. That makes sense.
Because that's what it is, man. It's like they just drawing, and before you know it, you got a whole pack of them over there complaining. Workplace, church, wherever it is. Go ahead.
Even a beautiful one. Sometimes it's just good to just look at her. That's it. Because you don't want. She might be beautiful, but she's a whole bunch of problems.
Yes, sir. Yes,
just let it go. Don't welcome that in your life just because she's pretty. You know what I'm saying? You have to think about things like that.
Because I see it all the time, because what my uncle told me when I was a little boy. He said, boy, don't bring no beautiful fool around here. Don't bring no beautiful fool around here. And you know, that stuck with me, man. That stuck with me. He said, boy, don't bring no, he always called me boy. He said, boy, don't you bring no beautiful fool around here. and that's a powerful statement, man, because you know, she don't, but a lot of people do, man. A lot of people, if she look a certain way, oh, she get all kind of passes, man. Oh man, look at her, man. She beautiful. Dumb as a bag of rocks. Dumb as a bag of rocks. Can you add 1 to 1 together?
That's how that beauty thing works, though. You never know what you're gonna get, really.
Exactly. Life is like a box of chocolates.
Don't mess around there and have no baby.
Oh my goodness.
It's crazy, lady.
Now you got somebody gonna throw some emails at me for this. But now you got a whole pack of dumb kids. Because you had with that dumb woman.
Got a crazy life.
Exactly. I can't do it, brother. Not me.
Criteria. You have to, if you're gonna have to establish, you have to make sure that they know. Even if it's something as simple as a giveaway or a donation drive or whatever. Plan.
Exactly.
Because you know what you want to deal with and what you don't want to deal with. Remember, preachers used to say, what was the thing about the money? We'd rather have that which folds, but we'll take that which jiggles, stuff like that.
Exactly.
I go.
Give me the kind that fold, not the kind that jingle, or something like that. He say.
You know, had these great offering speeches. You know, the offering speeches, the ministry, offering ministry. How they get up in the churches and they make that appeal for whatever programs or whatever they trying to fund and all that type of thing.
You know, got some master askers in there now. Got some master askers in church.
Oh, they do it so beautifully, so well.
Man, look at some master askers. Oh Lord, I'm a master asker now. Boy.
What is? Oh man, I ain't never heard that. Master asker.
Man, look at it. It's a master askers in church. Boy, look at.
Oh yeah.
If you sleep on it,
it's a fundraiser. You gotta raise funds.
Exactly. Look at you sleep on it you want to, boy. Yeah, all your money be going to master askers. You get all your money out your pocket.
I don't know how y'all do that, but
I don't know how to do it either.
You pray you blow in the face.
And you
I don't told it. Negro, if you don't take this $5 and leave me alone.
Exactly. And don't ask for no more.
I'll stab you in the face, shame you and the Holy Ghost.
I've heard people say, let me silly. I've heard people say, man. Look, they be in church, man, they do one offering. They'll go back there and count it and say, well, we need no, we ain't reached our mark. You better go out there and sell some cans or something, brother. And they'll take another offering, man. And then I heard some people say, man, the church said, we ain't getting out of here till we reach a certain amount. Man, now you keeping me hostage? Bruh. Deacon, go over there and guard the door.
Hey, boy, stop. Hey, Raheem. That's hilarious, man, because I remember stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm serious. Man,
and, you know, I'm laughing because I'm thinking about all the cussing I used to do when I was a kid.
I'm telling you. They'll do it in a minute, man. Look here. Hey, look here. We didn't raise enough. You know, we got to raise at least blase today. Now, y'all go ahead on and stop playing, reach in your pocket, and pull out some more money. You know, we're going to do it. We're going to pass the plates around again. And y'all come on. Y'all come on now. Stop.
Good. And then you hear the crowd say,
look. And then they get to call out, Deacon Jones, how much money you gave? How much you give, Deacon Jones? How much you gave? Now, Deacon Jones, I know you got plenty of money. Write $100 check. Deacon Jones, I know you can write $100 check. Go ahead and write that check, Deacon Jones. We got to get to a certain amount. Sister Paula, I need $100 check from you. Come on now. Come on, we got to reach this mark. And before you know it, and they said, we're not going to leave here until we reach this certain amount.
Get my coat and my hat. I'm staying here all night. I'm not giving you a damn thing. Hey! I ain't look. I tell people all the time, you can't get mad because you a sucker.
Yeah, exactly. But that's.
I don't care if you give all your money away. Mm-hmm. That's what you see fit to do.
As a matter of fact,
I'm just out in that group of people.
If you want to give all your money away, that's fine. Add my name to the envelope. Put my name on the envelope with yours.
That don't work on poor people.
Nah.
That only works on people with money.
Yeah. But see, people feel an obligation a lot of times. People feel an obligation as though they have to give.
Okay, y'all need to get counseling.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not making fun of y'all, but y'all need to get counseling because y'all are suckers, and you probably get taken advantage of a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But to each his own. If you have it to give away, God bless you.
Look at Rico said this. They'll throw a hint. Can't have a church in the dark.
Hey, like I say, if the church got to worry about the bill, then something's wrong with the leadership.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we always, I'm not those type of person. I don't have that mindset as it relates to not giving money or whatever. I give what I have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's no way you can embarrass me or whatever into giving more. So when people are always saying, because people they're so romantic, the church taking money and no, they're not. I've never been to a church that take money from people.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's voluntary giving.
Yeah, it is.
And the people that be complaining, shut up.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody made you give nobody nothing. And if you feel that way, that's your problem.
So they think it's like a Debo church, where they go ramble through your pockets and take everything out your pockets.
Ain't nobody doing all that. I'll
nah.
You and laugh in your face and have $1 million in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about what you're talking about when it comes to my money.
And see, a lot of times, I'm gonna tell you something. I've done it too, man. If we're gonna be honest, let's be honest. When I go to church sometime, when the church was open and stuff like that, I know how much I'm gonna give when I walk out the door. I'm gonna give this amount today. I'm gonna give $30. I'm gonna give $40. This is what I'm gonna give. I'm gonna give $70. This is what I'm gonna give today. I ain't giving no more, no less. I'm gonna give $2.
Right.
You have it in your mind what you're gonna give, and when the tithe and offering come around, you give that.
Then, and a lot of times that's already written. I mean, it used to be already before offering and everything. We used to write that up before you go in there.
Yeah.
And it's already in the little envelope and everything.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what you preach about, this is what you get.
Exactly. 6, 7, 8.
All them people that want to talk about the church took advantage, tell me what you did.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me about what you heard.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of y'all just passing around what you heard. You ain't done nothing and you ain't gave nothing, so stop acting like you have.
Exactly. Stop playing the victim when you ain't gave nothing anyway.
Boy, you know I don't care nothing about them folk to do that.
678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. Give us a call. 678-381-1973. We're talking about give from the heart, not what you no longer want. And we dealt with that, and I think we done stirred it up and shook it up a little bit. We got to go somewhere else now. We got to move in another direction. So this is what we're gonna do. Now, Leonard, we talked a little bit about, and we're talking about giving today. We're talking about giving.
Yes, sir.
That's gonna be the nucleus of our discussion today, giving. What do you say, Leonard? And we got to get out of the church, man. We can't beat up the church. But in the church, a lot of times, I don't know of any other place where a person go and just freely just give their money. Well, it's just, and they can complain, say what they want to say, but I can't think of anywhere else where people go, sit down before they leave. Even if they buy a ticket or something like that, or they go to a free event. I can't think of any place else where people just freely give their money. Can you think of anywhere else like the church where people just give their money?
Well, I'm in the community organizing and things like that too. So we often ask for donations and people to volunteer. Time, talent, or treasure, or all. Whatever you have or whatever, it all helps. Things don't operate for free. So a lot of times, I am about financing those things that I feel are important. I don't sit around and think that things are supposed to work for free. It may not cost you, but it costs somebody else. And that's the way a lot of older people used to say it. It can't be free.
And what we
get this notion, but a lot of people don't believe in. They wonder why a lot of projects and stuff don't get out the ground. Why ain't nobody doing this? Because ain't nobody got no money. You have to come. Like I said, we have an organization. A part of our organization depends on our fundraising. Your fundraising thing is you go to work.
Yeah.
That's your fundraising. That's what you do. And you use that money to what? Take care of yourself, buy what you need, pay your bills, just like running anything else.
Takes money.
It does. And, some people have a very unhealthy relationship with money. And I'll be very transparent. My unhealthy relationship with money is the fact that, one, I am very stressed about finances. Because that's what's important to me. And so I have to always make sure that I don't allow that to depress me so bad. Because I'm not a wealthy man.
Yeah.
So, I have bills and everything to pay just like everybody else.
Absolutely.
So that's if there's anything else that needed something, what I'm working on in my life is my financial security. That's what my issue is. I don't get off in a lot of things that other people do. That's my issue. When people say, well, money ain't everything. Well, it's most things. You can believe what you want. I ain't never heard nobody poor say it. It's only rich people say it. Okay? Money ain't this, money ain't that. Money don't have it and see what happens. So it's good to have to be financially secure. So I'm not against the money at all.
Is the money the key to a lot of your woes?
To mine. To 95% of mine.
So if you had $1 million right now, you'll be straight.
Oh, excellent. See, I'm at the point in my life where money makes the difference.
Okay.
Ain't somebody gave you a house? Ain't nobody gave you no house.
Nah.
That's when I say, you know what I'm saying? Did somebody give you your car?
No, sir.
See, I'm not attached to money. I've had people give me cars before.
Mm-hmm.
So even with the work that I do and volunteering and things like that, and I tell people, ain't no money in it. I mean, so it's you have to be doing it from your heart. For what other reason are you doing it?
Mm-hmm.
Give from your heart. You make it a practice of giving.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind giving to things that I want to support.
How pleasing is it, Leonard, when you give from your heart?
Well, I always give from my heart.
Mm-hmm. But I want to talk to the people that may have never experienced it, and paint a picture for them. How rewarding is it? How fulfilling is it when you give something from your heart, not expecting anything, not wanting anything back, because it's the right thing to do? How fulfilling is that?
Oh, I'm working towards being a lender instead of a borrower,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to be able to give whatever I can
Mm-hmm.
to anybody. That if I have anything, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
So it's not a really big deal to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that a lot of people, if that's the only good thing you're doing in your life, keep doing that and do more of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't give frivolous. Don't just give frivolous.
Furiously. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Give to people who are in need. Give to people who are in need, who appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Give something to somebody. Kids who get what they want usually aren't stressed over little things. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they're not greedy or whatever. They share with their friends, and that's why we used to raise kids to share.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure people are teaching sharing like they used to.
No. And that goes to the fact that a lot of people now these days are a lot more selfish than what they used to be, than what people used to be.
Yeah, I might go along with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
I just might go along with you on that, right?
No, man. Look, I'm gonna mark this up on my calendar. What's today's date? February the 15th, Monday, February 15th at 8:10. I'm gonna write this down, brother. I got to write this down here, brother. No.
There's a lot of selfishness out here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's quite evident. Mm-hmm. Well, the thing about it is, I don't even know how evident it is. Because people always get caught up in it,
Mm-hmm.
But that's one of the things with Christianity. It should teach you not to be selfish.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And you said the right thing should. Let's stay here for let's stay here for a second, man, because hold on, we got Rico on with Rico. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Grand Rising, my brothers. How y'all doing this morning?
Hey, tired as the Dickens, brother. I ain't get home after 12. I told you I had that video shoot yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I ain't get home after 12, brother. So I ain't get home after 12. Man, so
everybody had a long one last night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're talking about give from your heart, not what you no longer want. And that's our topic today. And one of the reasons why I got here, because our church service is actually doing virtual. And they right now they want to have shoes and socks. And the pastor said that some of the stuff that came in, Rico, had the barn had to throw it right in the trash can because it was so worn out, ran over, run down. And the pastor said, she wouldn't give it to anybody else because, she don't want to give anything to anybody that she wouldn't want to use herself. And so we're talking about give from their heart. Now, don't go through your closet and find your worst, your rundown, and your worn out and say, well, I give them this. That Leonard made a very good point. He said that, a lot of times if people don't have, that's better than what they have. But at the same time, don't you want it to be a certain level of what you give to someone?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you don't want to give somebody something that you wouldn't want them to give you.
Mm-hmm.
That saying, give unto or do unto others that you will have them to do unto you, that stands in everyday activity.
Mm-hmm.
It is standing everyday activity. You know what I'm saying? Because that helps you improve your sincerity and compassion when you treat people the way you want to be treated. Another way of putting that is, how would you feel if that was you? How would you feel if that was you receiving a pair of holy draws, house with the toes out of them? You know what I'm saying? So the pastor even knew then, you know what, look, man, I can't give this to nobody. I wouldn't want nobody to give me this. If that was me, I wouldn't want to receive this. I wouldn't know if this was a joke. They were just saying I was this. I mean, just think about it. What they already had was probably better than what they was about to receive. That would have been a bad move, man. You know, but you know, it has to be some sincerity into that charity or that philanthropy. You got to be sincere with it, because some will do it just to say that they did it. Well, something. Beggars can't be choosy. I remember I used to hear that all the time. Beggars can't be choosy. I'm like, well, look, if that's what you got to give, keep it. What does it look like buying a homeless person food, and they say, well, you know what? Don't put mayo and lettuce on it, or don't put mayo and tomatoes on it. Hey, all that. You're going to take the sandwich the way I want to give it to you. Well, just keep it. If you're going to get mad because the man didn't want it, but he might be homeless. He might need that meal, but at the same time, he might be allergic to whatever that is that you refuse to take the time out. Or well, at least you got you something to eat. Well, if you got to know, if it's in your heart to say you want to get them something to eat, get them something that they will eat.
Something that's gonna make a difference.
Doing it for the right reason. Exactly.
Now, what do you say, Rico? We talked about this this morning as well. A person that do something for you, they do something for you, and next week, month, years, that's all they talk about. Well, you remember, man, I did this for you, man. You know, I did this for you, and and they always bring it up. At what point, Rico, do you shut that off and say, "Look ahead now, hold on"?
You shut it off immediately when you know that's what they're doing. See, the only time that don't get me wrong, sometimes we do have to be reminded of what people have been there for us. You do need to, you do need to have a reality check every now and then. Sometimes you might take people for granted, or you might have the upper hand, and they might just need a slight favor from you. It might just need a little conversation from you. But now you do good. So they got to remind you, wait a minute. When you were sitting up here eating dollar chicken McNuggets, you know, and you was running, I was talking to you then. I was the one you had to call and lean on, so sometimes you do have to remember that you was the one that gave somebody a place to stay that one night. Or sometimes they get somewhere and they forget, you know what, I ain't never had a bad day. I've always been blessed with money. Wait a minute now, I remember a whole bad month you had when you had to sleep on my couch. You didn't even have no soap to use. Let me remind you. And they'll get mad. Some of these people that have to be reminded to get mad and say, "Well, you must not did it from your heart if you had to throw it up in my face. You ain't got to remind nobody. You didn't do this sincerely. No, I had to do it to remind you.
I had to remind you because you walk around here thinking you better than everybody else.
Exactly. You forgot where you came from.
Exactly. What do you say to that, man? Because sometimes people will have a tendency to forget where they came from, forget that they had a bad time too.
Let me say it goes to what I said about a person's character. That person ain't that different than what they was. They just didn't have nothing. And soon they got something. That's what they did. That's how they behave, because that's who they really are. A lot of folks I think use that also to it's one thing, when you say forget where you come from, we should change that, because one, if I have become a better person, then that's what I need to operate in, where I'm better, not where I was less than. So when somebody talk about, folks gonna always be there to tell you your place and where you belong. It's your job to make sure you don't internalize that.
That's good.
So just because I came from somewhere, that may not have been who I was then. That's just where I was at.
But what do you do, Leonard? And I can agree with some of what you're saying. But what do you do when you find this person and what they're doing? Then now they can walk across water. Can't do no wrong. Forget and looking down at other people that was in the very same situation that they was in when you had to help them out. Do you just give them a pass, or how do you deal with that? Or you give them a
Well,
reality
I
check?
probably wouldn't deal with them anymore
Mm-hmm.
because of their character.
Mm-hmm.
This is who they were before. You just didn't notice it.
Yeah. Or they weren't in a situation where they could display it because they didn't have anything.
I know a joker right now,
Mm-hmm.
right? Think about the people you know. And you know they may have chosen different paths. Let's put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
You always knew they was that type of person.
Mm-hmm.
You knew exactly where they were going to end up.
And it wasn't a good place.
You can look. You got people you know. You know exactly why they ain't got nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And see, these are the things that we look over. And I just remember where you came from. How can you forget?
Mm-hmm.
I know some people just as nasty and arrogant. They got two nickels rubbed together, but they think they're better than everybody else.
Mm.
They ain't got nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But they still think they better than everybody else. You will find no more greater pride than you will in the projects.
Mm.
People talk about they block and don't own nothing on it. That's just where you at.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you go somewhere else, then what you gonna say? What you gonna do?
Exactly. Rico, it was said to me a while back that givers have to set limitations because takers don't have any. How do you know? How do you know what limitation to set when you're giving to somebody and not allow them to get in a situation where they're taking advantage of you?
I mean, you got to look and see if they're utilizing the help that you're giving.
Mm-hmm.
Properly, if they are abusing it. You know what I'm saying? If they're using it properly, then you probably won't lending a helping hand. But if you give somebody some money, then the first thing they do is go to the casino,
Mm-hmm.
and borrow some money again, and you know their children needed some school supplies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's winter time. You know what I'm saying? They need some coats for school, or they need to change the uniform. They need to get the winter wear for the uniform. What do you look like giving somebody some money when they don't went to the casino?
Mm-hmm.
But that's what that is what happened. You know what I'm saying? But I think about what you were saying a second ago about how people would change up, and you know, this is how human beings act. When they don't have, they are oppressed, or they are in turmoil or distress. We are always remorseful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so when a person is down and out, they're broke, when they're in despair, a lot of times they will remain humble when they need somebody, when they need some rescue, they'll become. But see, when they don't need rescuing, which a lot of times, like what Leonard said earlier about if you got that money, you ain't got 95% of this problem gone. A lot of people got that money, they think 95% of their problem gone. So then all of a sudden, they change their attitude. You know, now some are already like that. Like you said, they were humble, or they were kind or respectful. Well, have a choice but to be. They didn't have advantage. They didn't have privilege.
Yeah.
But, you know, sometimes I've seen some very honorable people get caught up in a situation where their social environment changes. And in the process of the social environment changes, they think their attitude has to change because they think that comes with money, that mindset. They think that for you to have it, this is the way you have to act. You know, so they still don't have the right perspective. You know, now most of the time these people characters are all they would have did the same thing whether they had money or not. They was gonna do it because they was low down and dirty from the very beginning. And maybe they don't have money because they are low down and dirty. Maybe they blow their money and they spend it on what they want to. And they maybe they don't like to cook, they like to eat out all the time and they just waste. They like to consume, and that's just who they are. They just want to, whatever makes them happy. They greedy and they selfish and they waste. Okay, now they ain't gonna have too much money. You know, they might be remorseful that they ain't got their money, but you don't see them blow their money and just be greedy. So you ahead of time, if they get unlimited amounts of money or sufficient amount of money, they're gonna be the same way. They're gonna be wasteful. They ain't gonna listen to nobody. They ain't gonna listen to nothing you got to say. The only time they're gonna want you that they need.
Mm-hmm.
So people that are broke will only reach out to you when they need something and still keep that same attitude. But in rare instances, I have seen good people change because they felt like that was the way they were supposed to act. That was the mindset that you were supposed to carry when you got money. You're supposed to act this way. You're supposed to put your nose in the air. You're supposed to stop talking to these people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do know some poor people that are better than rich people. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein was worth $600 million. He was worth $600 million more than me. And I'm way better than Jeffrey Epstein ever was. Some worth a couple of billion. I look on Trump. Character and his integrity. It ain't enough dollars in the world that can make him wealthy in life.
Exactly. And Leonard, I want to come to you with the same question, man. Givers have to set limitation because takers don't have any. And if that be the case, how do you know when to stop off giving somebody, helping somebody, because they're borderline taking advantage of, or even taking advantage of
you? I just stop. I mean, it's like you say, you the fool. Don't be a fool.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's not, even if we weren't talking about money. That's foolish. See, there's something wrong with you, not the other person.
Well, some people just feel like as if they got to be that savior.
I mean, that's your problem. That's your problem, not the other person's problem. That person will stop coming to you if you stop giving it to them.
Yeah. It sure will.
Now, why you find out why you got to be there for that person? Because, as I said before, I'm pretty straightforward about things. I don't fool with people that cause me too much stress.
Yeah.
I just don't. If I could second guess everything you say and do, I don't really want to kick it with you no more. If I don't never know what you're going to do next, I don't like fooling with you. If you're running around here like what? Everybody knows when people on drugs. I was raised like that. So I know bad behaviors when I see that. Now, if you funded somebody's bad behavior, that's your fault.
Yeah.
I can give you some money or whatever. I don't care what you do with it. If I got it and I feel like giving it to you, I'm going to give it to you. What you do with it is your business.
Yeah.
When I get concerned about what you're doing with it, I ain't giving it to you no more.
That's good. Shira Strong. What's going on?
Good morning.
How you doing? Listen, we're asking a question. We're talking about give from your heart, not what you no longer want. And it came from a pastor. They're having out at the church. They're having a shoe and a sock drive, and she said some of the things that was coming in was terrible. Shoes worn out, socks with holes in them, and all kind of mess. And she was saying, give from your heart. Don't give stuff like this because I can't give this to people. I will not give this to people because it's undesirable. So let's talk about give from your heart, not from what you no longer want. What do you say to that?
Right. First of all, excuse my voice. I've been down and out. I've been sick.
Singing? You've been singing, girl? You've been singing? You've been in concert. You've been in concert. Stop playing. She was on tour.
I've been in concert, y'all. Raheem was the #1 guest, and he enjoyed it, y'all.
It was a beautiful show.
I've been tested for everything under the sun. I have nothing but a sore throat. But whenever you give, you're supposed to give out the heart. God said, give out the abundance of your heart. You don't give something that you don't want or you're not no longer going to use. My mama and my grandmother taught me that as a young child. Whenever we would give bags of clothes, my grandmother would go to the mall and buy us dresses and buy extra dress just to give away. And I was like, well, Mommy, why are you buying another dress when I got a dress in my closet, that I'm not wearing? She said, I'm going to give that too. But you don't give people anything that you won't use yourself or you don't like. Because that says a lot about who you are. Just because somebody is in need of something don't mean that they don't have pride enough to want to look good, feel good. And you don't take a person's pride away when you're giving. If everyone has, I don't know if anyone's seen, I look at a lot of movies about home is where the heart is. If anybody's seen that movie, it was about a young girl. She was pregnant, and her boyfriend left her at Walmart. She ended up having her baby at Walmart. Went to the hospital. Her mama came. She gave all the money that people sent in to her mom. So the lady came and picked her up and said, "Hey, I need you to come stay with me and take care of this plant because I just can't." It's a plant that she gave her. To me, that was a heartfelt thing. She didn't make her feel like she didn't have a choice. She didn't make her feel bad about not having a place to go. She didn't make, it was a welcoming, hey, I need you to come. I need you, not that you need me. And if we get into the ideal phase of needing each other, wanting to help each other, we would do a lot better. Because just because somebody's down on their luck, you got to remember, all of us is a paycheck away from being broke.
Come on.
A paycheck away from being hungry. Because a lot of us, we didn't have food stamps or we didn't have our jobs, we'll be hungry too. Or, put another addition to your family and see how well you're going to make it. You never know where life is going to treat you or put you. That's why it says, like, you be careful how you treat people because you could be entertaining angels. So I'm all for giving. I give my last to anyone that needs it. But I'm smart about it too now. I'm not finna go and see somebody. I did this one day. It was a guy, and I know, our town is small. He's on drugs and all kinds of stuff. And he asked me for some money because he said he wanted something to eat. I said, all right, come on. I'm going to take you to McDonald's and buy you something to eat. I'm not going to give you no cash or money because I know you're going to buy you some alcohol or some drugs with it. And I can't live on my conscience if you buy some drugs and OD with my money. But I will take you in the store and buy you some food. So we have to be smart with our giving, but we don't have to be stingy with it.
Exactly. We have a couple of callers. We're going to go to our callers. Keep the phone lines going this morning. We're going to go to our callers right now. We have Toya with the T. Toya with the T. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Morning. Happy after Valentine's Day, guys.
Man, look here. Y'all dropped the ball. Me and Rico was ready to buy y'all some gifts, man, and y'all didn't even follow through, man. Me and Rico, we were talking about this thing. And
Rico Lord. His eyes said, no, not me.
Man, look, me and Rico we're going to get y'all some cards and some candy. We talked about it yesterday. We had a conversation about it yesterday. We did, or didn't we, Rico? Yeah, we had a conversation because y'all said something about some cards and some candy, and we reached out to each other, and we said, how we going to handle this thing? And Rico said, look here, man, nobody reached back out to me. I said, what?
Cash App, $ Shira Strong. It's never too late. I take out.
Look, that plane on flew. I see that plane in it.
This side chick day. February 15th.
Yes, sir. Toya with the TV.
I'll be morning glow side chick. Outside she was.
Lord, my Jesus. We're talking about give from your heart, not what you no longer want. And it's coming from my pastor. She's doing a shoe and a sock drive. She said some of the things that's coming in are things that the people just don't want. She could tell by the way they looking, worn out, holes in the socks and stuff like that. We're talking about give from your heart, not what you no longer want. Well, you talk to me about that.
Hey, that's one of the first lessons that the Lord dealt with me on, man. It's about give it, we condition, right? Because our parents be like, oh yeah, everything you can't fit anymore, everything you don't want anymore. We're going to go ahead and get that together and give it away, right? So, I roll with the culture. But when God started delivering me, one of the first things he made me do was giving away like some high class name brand heels, honey. I'm talking about red bottoms, talking about tiger print, all that. Mm-hmm. And I was dealing with a lot of homeless. And I'm like, now, Lord, they ain't not going to know what to do with these shoes, man. What you mean, get these folks my shoes? They're going to go and sell them. Mm-hmm. And that's when the Lord began to work with me. You don't give nobody your last. That's why Cain and Abel got trouble. Mm-hmm. When you give somebody the best. Why do you want to give back somebody something you don't want? Mm-hmm. And it took about, I ain't gonna lie, it took about a year because I was so selfish about what I had worked hard for, what was mine, what I deserved. It took about a good year of me just doing service and understanding and having God talk to me. And I looked around, man. This is what we do as a culture. Churches, drives, different organizations. I've seen organizations, as soon as they get that stuff up in there from the church, they go pick through it all and get the best. Mm-hmm. And then they give away what they don't want. And I believe that that's why some places are not growing. So absolutely, the Lord himself dealt with me about when I do for someone. And I have a mindset now. So where, Lord, if you tell me to buy something for somebody, I'm not talking about give. Mm-hmm. If you want to buy something for them, I'm going to buy it because I know that you're going to give me what I need to be able to buy it for them. Mm-hmm. So I'm all for, like, I get the concept now when God tells us to do something, because if you give, you receive. Yeah. So if you want the best, you got to give the best. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing of culture that we've picked up, I think, from childhood. We don't read our Bibles. We go by what folks told us out the Bible until we get that relationship on our own. But I believe, that's a part of, like I said, a culture that, our parents raised, probably not explaining all the ins and outs to it. And we just kind of took it and ran with it. Like, yeah, I'm going to give them, but I'm going to give them my whatever I don't want. And absolutely not. That's the wrong concept.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. We got K with the E. K with the E. What's on your heart about this, man? Give from your heart, not what you no longer want.
I have always. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I have always given from the heart, and if it's something I don't want, I throw it away. Mm-hmm. So I put it outside. When somebody picks it up, because I threw it outside, then they took it from the trash.
Yeah.
Give it to them.
Yeah. That's good. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Same thing. If it's something I don't want, I might offer, anybody want this? Need it. I don't want it. It's broke, whatever it is. Or I might tell them the reason why I don't want it. Some people might have value in it. But I'm going to look at it and be like, man, if somebody want this, I don't even want it. Mm-hmm. This person might not want it either. But, the thing I'm seeing is that you really have to learn how to discern. First off, discern from the takers that just really take advantage of anybody. But we also have to discern from the philanthropists and the activists, those that's being benevolent. Because we live in such a time now, people want to be recognized, people suffering from ADHD, a lack of not getting enough attention, that benevolence and charity has become a trend. So now I'm noticing activists, I'm noticing people doing charity out of a trend because they know they'll get attention, them going live. Look at me out here feeding these people home, feeding these homeless people for Thanksgiving. Look how nice I am, y'all. Mm-hmm. Hey, y'all, watch me take my shoes off and give them to this man, and I'm gonna look, y'all. I'm gonna go live doing it. Look how nice I am. Ain't I sweet? Ain't I sweet? Mm-hmm. And so you start realizing that people start doing it because they'll go viral. Yeah. People get recognized. Oh, look what he did, girl. He's so nice. He took his shoes off his feet out there in the cold and gave it to that man. Mm-hmm. And so you have to really learn who's doing it for the right reason. I like people that does philanthropy and you don't know about it. I notice politicians. I know politicians right now that every chance they get, they're taking pictures and going live. I'm like, well, you ain't talking about what you've been doing. And so it's like, well, are they sincere? are they really being thoughtful? You got to be thoughtful in your giving. If some of these people need these clothes, need clothes to go do a job interview, you know what kind of clothes you want to wear if you went to a job interview.
Exactly.
Buy them something new. If you know how to cut hair, you know 9 out of 10, if they need clothes, they probably gonna need a haircut too. So when you bring a pair of clippers with you if you know how to cut hair. And say, you know, anybody need a haircut, so you know that when the thought counts, it shows.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. That's good. That's good. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Shira, coming to you next.
I'm just listening. Like I say, matter of fact, I'm gonna be preparing some things for folks to come pick up today. Even like with my brother, for instance. My brother is very much into clothes and everything, and he always calls me. I got some clothes over here. When I go over there, the clothes are clean, folded up in boxes, and the name is on the box on what's in the box.
That's good.
Because those are the things that he doesn't want anymore. But they may not. They work great for other people. May want them. Like what? I've never bought a pair of Jordans in my life. I get all my shoes from my brother. So if you see me with gym shoes on 9 times out of 10, I got them from my brother.
Yes, sir.
Because when he finished wearing them, I wear them. So it just matters. The type of person in your character.
Yeah.
I don't know other people's situation. All I do is I try to help out when I can to help people. And that's one part of my life. I'm not into criticism or anything when it comes to giving.
Shira?
I want to touch back what Rico was saying. If you go in the Bible and you start reading the Bible and you look at the Sadducees and the Pharisees, and you look and they said that they would do things for people to see. They would pray these long prayers and they would do things just for the attention. And in the Bible, God said they have their reward. For those that pray in secret, I will reward. So if you give in secret, if that's one thing I cannot stand. That is a pet peeve of mine. If you give something and then you call somebody out, oh, you see that shirt? I gave her that shirt, baby boo, you didn't do nothing. You should do stuff out of the kindness of your heart and not look for a reward. That's what I tell people. Even I'm gonna use Valentine's Day as a prime example. You don't give something with the intent of looking to get something back. And so many times, that's what we do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him this big old expensive cologne or this shirt or whatever, but I'm gonna expect something back. And if he don't give me nothing back, then he don't care about me. And to me, that's silly. We have to give, or if we're going to give a gift at Christmas, whatever, if we giving people something in the street, we need not look for nothing in return and forget about it. Because that means your reward is going to come in heaven. I tell everybody, I'm trying to build my mansion in heaven. I ain't worried about the material things here on earth. So the things I do on earth is building my kingdom in heaven. So that's why we have to have that heart of giving, because somebody had to give to you. We wasn't always on our feet. It was a point of time in all our lives. And I can say this at 100%. It was a point in everyone's life where they needed something from someone because they didn't have it. Whether you was a college student struggling, whether you was in math, in your master's degree, doctor's degree, but before you became who you were, comfortable with your income and finances, it was a point in time when you was dirt broke and didn't know where to go. And at that point, somebody guided you, helped you, and gave to you. And so we have to return that. We have to give. I look at They Ready, Tiffany Haddish. She went back and got other comedians that she left along the way to put them back in the prime light. That's the kind of mindset that we need to have. We can't forget about others or forget about people because we done got a higher stature or because we done made it or we done got this or we done got that. We can't forget about the low people because one thing my grandmother taught me, she said, I'm going to tell you something, sweetheart. The same people you meet going up the ladder is the same people you're going to meet falling down the ladder. And the way you treat them when you coming down going to be determined on how you treat them when you went up. And how far you fall is going to depend on how you treat the people on the way up.
That's good.
So that's this with me all my life, what my grandmother tells me. And I live that. I would, anybody around this place know me, and say, you know what, she'll give you the shirt off her back. And you won't nobody know about it. Because that's the way we're supposed to be.
Exactly. Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Morning, family. Morning, brother. What's going on?
Hey, doing good. We're talking about give from your heart, not what you no longer want. And it's coming from my pastor having a shoe and sock drive. And she said some of the stuff that was given to the church to give to the community was totally undesirable, worn out, holes in it, and all kind of stuff, man. So we're talking about give from your heart, not what you no longer want. What do you say to that?
You know, oh man, God is good. If you give from your heart, you know, man, the reward is just 10 times greater. You know, forgive me, man. This is my first time sleeping in months. But people just there comes a time when what you do just can't be all about you. And I think God is really trying to show, man, that hey, this life we live in, this life we live in is not the life that He has designed for human beings, man. All of this selfishness and I'm doing this because I need that. Man, listen, man, if you're doing it for me and you're doing it because you want something in return, you know what? Don't do it for me. Miss me with that, man. For real. Miss me with that. Because one of the things that I've learned being in the industry that I'm in and doing the things that I do is that, you know, when you pay attention and you see a lot of people, a lot of so-called stars or whatever, caught up in hoopla and drama and all this foolishness, if you really look at the circles around, you'll hear them say, like, you know, big up to such and such because they bow up. And a lot of them that wind up in trouble is because they got a bunch of people sitting around them that's leeches and doing things for them in the hopes that they get something in return. They're not doing it because, you know what, I genuinely like you or I genuinely got love for you, so I'm going to do. You know what I mean? I'm just going to do what a upright human being is supposed to do. You know, your pastor is right, right? Like, if you won't give to somebody, like, I give clothes away all the time, man. Like, this is every week. I go to you know how they got the little, the bins, like at the gas station, where you can give clothes for, like, I have this African kid that he actually beat me to it. He started a hand wash, car wash, like right around the corner from my house. So I noticed that he has like a lot of Hispanics working for him. And you can tell that they just got here, you know, they trying to get their papers and this, that, and the third. They got work visas, whatever. So I give them clothes all the time. Me and my wife, we give them clothes all the time, or we put it in the bin, right? But I'm not giving nobody nothing that's not going to be a benefit to them. Why am I going to give somebody a holy jacket? That's not going to keep them warm. You know, I don't. That's trifling, man. Your pastor's right, man. That was trifling. It would be foolish that on Sunday, if she have a service come to Jesus moment with them folks, and if she needs to lean on some folk and hurt some folk feelings, I'm sorry, because you put something out there that you deserve to get stepped on. You deserve to get your feelings hurt if you was one of those people, right? That's a shame.
Absolutely. And Toya wanted, since she wanted to speak to you, Curtis, and reach out to her, man, because she's trying to start a high school sports network, and she said she wanted you to reach out to her. So I guess y'all could change notes or something like that, or bring them together. Toya, you there? Toya with a T. I think we might have lost it. Toya with a T, you there?
High school sports network.
Yeah. Toya with a T, you there? Okay, she might have to step away for a second. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead. There's Curtis. You wanted to speak to Curtis? Oh, you're having some issues with that phone.
I was asking Curtis to hit me up. You know, my phone got something going on. Well, I can't post anymore on Facebook, y'all, but Curtis, I got an opportunity because I think I heard him saying about how school works.
Mm-hmm.
I need him to inbox me because I got something that he may be interested in.
Cool beans. You get that, Curtis?
I heard part of. Repeat it to me, Ryan.
She said inbox her because she's doing something with sports high school, and she said something that you may be very interested in. So she wants you to inbox her.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Not a problem, man. Not a problem.
Leonard?
Yeah.
What's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Man, I think, we should really make sure that we are doing what we can, like when situations like this, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
And I think one of the most important things was, like I said, a lot of times you have to clarify certain things. But sometimes we have to be careful about being so critical.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing, like I said, one of the scriptures talks about giving alms in secret and things of that nature. And there are some people whose giving, they do definitely keep private.
Mm-hmm.
Because either way it goes, somebody always gonna have something to say.
Mm-hmm.
So when they don't like you, they turn they stuff they say about you to nasty. So if you're giving trying to please people or trying to be seen, I don't think that's given from the proper place.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not just with that. Somebody always gonna have something to say. So it should be in the mind of the people that you should know who you're serving. That's who that's for. You should focus on the person or persons that you're serving. And that's one thing I said. There are some preachers, they're just talking about church.
Mm-hmm.
There are some preachers who are just preachers. They're not ministers. You know the difference, right? Some people just want to be heard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're not in the ministry at all. They just preach.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they got into it for. That's all they feel they should do.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to criticize on why a person gave. That's not what I would normally do.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's sad when you see people who are that way, but you just have to pray for them as well. But I don't criticize nobody for giving or how they give or what have you, because I'm more focused on why, who's in need, than who's doing the giving.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. But still in all, though, you still don't want to give anything that's undesirable to yourself, though, right?
Well, I mean, I'm trying not to make value calls and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I just mentioned like one, those clothes and things that you give away should be clean, wearable clothing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Okay.
Why would you get paid? Why? I mean, if you can't wear it, why would you give it to someone else?
Exactly.
If it was dirty or nasty or ripped up or torn up, But then again, if I want a pair of work boots sometime, they ain't got to be brand new.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. 678-381-1973. 678-381-1973. We're talking about give from your heart, not what you no longer want. Give from your heart, not what you no longer want. Rico, talk to me, brother.
you know, that can it can actually be perceived differently by different observers. You know, I guess the character of the person that's witnessing the charity really is a big thing too, because you know I thought about what I said earlier about always going on camera doing your charity.
Mm-hmm.
It is necessary to expose it and market it so you can show people by example. It ain't that hard. So I think about the telethons, cerebral palsy, and all these American Way, United Way telethons and stuff like that. The telethon that Kanye came on that time and called George Bush racist. Those telethons, they are televised. And it's actually to gain momentum. So, I mean, it's a thin line between those people that's actually doing it to gather momentum and also lead by example or show people that this is an avenue that you can use to help these people. Discerning from those that's out here doing it just for the look at me. So then you look at me, because on the outside looking in, the only thing we might look at is the fact that these people taking the time out of their day to go out here and do this. Look at what they're giving all them homeless people. Look what they're giving all them handicapped people. And we just looking at the simple outside, the cosmetics of it. But we're not really digging in deeply, seeing if the charity is going in the right place. So, you know, have you ever seen a homeless person realize that they're being used as a marketing tool, and they feel uncomfortable when somebody's giving them something because they know that person before they went on air say, hey, make sure you get this camera angle so they can see me giving them this, and then that'll be a good, make sure you got me in the picture more. Homeless person sitting back looking like, wait a minute, you trying to use me and my kids as a billboard?
Yeah.
So, you know, it's really hard to discern that, you know what I'm saying? But it happens. So, I mean, you know, like I said in the past, there's always a pro and a con to everything. You know, you're going to find people that's going to be opportunistic and going to try to find a way to manipulate any situation, good or bad. You know, exactly. The thing is if we're on the outside looking in and we are the ones that want to be charitable, we want to be benevolent, we got to be very mindful of how we are doing it, or who we're giving it to. If we're giving it to an organization and not doing it on our own, we got to be mindful of very, I'm gonna say, informed on who that organization is and what they're doing. All the people are actually receiving it. What are they receiving? If you're giving money, what percentage of the money do they actually get? Where does the money go? Don't just give it to say you're giving, because some people give charity and they go back and say, well, you know what? I sent $1,000 over here to Africa, and I sent $1,000 to this organization, and here go a picture of the kids. And I'm like, man, this kid is years old. How many more people taking care of this child? How much of that money is actually going to that child? A letter from that child yet. You know, but they don't care about that. They just said, at least I did it. It's the same thing with church and 10%. I gave.
Exactly. Okay, what's on your heart, sis?
That's true right there. A lot of people do just that. I spoke with a homeless guy yesterday. He said, you're the first person I spoke with that said that you don't want to be my voice, you want me to use my own voice. I got my own mind, and I can't speak my mind if I don't have a voice. He said, because that's what we need. We don't need nobody to speak for us. We need somebody to hear us. I was like, I said, I'm afraid for y'all. I'm afraid for you. And I'm going to see if I can get you some assistance as much as I can get you, so that your voice can be heard.
Exactly.
And that is so true. He said, they come down here with cameras. And, well, I want to interview nobody. I want to interview these people. He's like, I don't want to go down there where they got some people at. And he's just going out. I was like, wow. Like, just to talk to him and to hear his story alone was enough that he don't want to hand me down. They want to go work. He said, we can build other buildings if they give us the wood. Like, they are really some highly intelligent people. And I was like, that's the second one I just saw this weekend that I can honestly say that if they were given a chance, they would go to work, pay their rent, and pay their bills. He was fresh out of jail, had to find somebody to give him a home plan, but he really couldn't live there. He just told the people that he could so he could get out of jail. But he actually walked out the jailhouse, walked to the people's house. He wanted to go over there for probation time for visit. And I was like, I think it's really sad how the system even do people. So there's a lot of them that's homeless because that's the only way they can get out of jail.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was awesome. I never thought of homeless people like that until I spoke with that guy yesterday.
Wow. Wow. That's good. Sheila, what's on your heart?
Y'all know I'm a movie buff. So, that's just like Annie. You can look at any version of Annie you can go back to the 1951 all the way up to the newest one with Jamie Foxx. It was a little girl that they was using to make this guy look more presentable to be able to be in office or whatever, Daddy Warbucks or however you want to go about it. And all she wanted was to find her parents. And they capitalized on it, gave her the rich lifestyle for a moment. But he turned out that he fell in love with the little girl and wanted to adopt her. So many times our people that are homeless or without, I don't like to use the word homeless, but they are without things that they're needing, they are capitalized on because, like Rico said earlier, hey, look at me. I done helped this person so much. Trading, right, Rico? Trading places. All these movies you go looking at Coming to America when Eddie Murphy gave the two poor men the money. He say, Mortimer, look, we're back. Yeah. You can look at all these things and you can look and see how they are looked at as opportunities, or it's an opportunity moment to either make these people great, to make you look great, and it's not right. At some point in time, I feel the homeless guy. Hey, I don't need your cameras. I just need something to eat for the day. You can even to Will Smith and his son in the movie that they had when he became homeless trying to sell his invention. And he wasn't looking for him. They was living in the bathroom. I mean, y'all saw the movie. And then when he finally got his break, you can look at Mahogany. I'm thinking Acrimony. You can even look at Acrimony when he was 4 and out until he made it. That's why I say what I say. We all have moments, and we all have things in our life that are turning points that we either, like Oprah called it an aha moment. That's what Oprah calls. So we all have an aha moment, or we all have a moment in our life where we have to choose or decide if we're gonna go forth in this way. Because I say we're not too far from being those people. Look at the government, and I hate to bring everything in, but if you look at the way the world is going right now, and I tell everybody, if you compare the fall of Rome or the Great Depression, if you go in history and you look at everything that happened to cause the Great Depression, you look at everything that caused Rome to fall, you will see America is following the script, per line, and everything. So we have to be prepared. We may be in that situation. You never know what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day. You don't know what policies are going to put in place that cause you not to be able to pay your rent or not to be able to afford the things that you have. And you might be that person that's homeless. You have to look at, like, what if that was me? What would I need done if it was me? Put your, try on their shoes for a moment and walk a mile in somebody's shoes, and you'll look at it a little different. You won't be sending them no holes in no socks. You won't be sitting there giving them shoes that are no good. You won't sit there and give them a toe-up shirt and say, oh, they want it because they don't have anything else. You won't sit there and give them some, things that you yourself won't eat. You will take pride in everything that you do because hey, if it were me, this is what I would want. And that's kind of how we have to look at it. What if it was me? What if it was my child? And a lot of things that we do affects the future of our kids because you never know what your children is going to be. And the kindness and the things that you put in the air can come back to your children, come back to your children's children. So we have to be careful at the legacy that we put in place. If you want to be selfish and you want to be greedy and you want to be all those different things, then that's what you put in the air to come back. So we have to be careful. I always say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's the golden rule. We can go back to the Bible all day because the Bible never changes. It's the same today as it was yesterday, as it is forevermore. If we have to have that mindset of, hey, I want to give to you, not because I want to be on media, not because I want this big old attention, not because I want to be all these great things. I'm giving to you because I know it could be me. It could be my kids. It could be anyone that I love, because we are really all, if you look at it, we're all just a paycheck away. I say it all the time. Let my company not pay me 2 weeks. Let me go 2 weeks without pay. And I promise you my bills will fold in. And it'll calculate. Let something not go the way it should go. And we'll see where we are. We're not so far up there that we can't come down. And that's what I think a lot of us have to do, especially in mega churches. We have to realize in the mega churches with all the people that are that have come up in finances, that you have to look down sometime and pull somebody up. That's why we bless. As if you're financially blessed, you're blessed to help someone else. If you're spiritually blessed, you're blessed to help somebody else. So that's what our goal is. That's what we're supposed to do.
Good deal. Good deal. That's good. That's good. Let's go to Goddess. Goddess, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. One moment.
Okay.
Trying to get my car.
Okay. While you're good, I'm gonna tell you what we're talking about is give from the heart, not what you no longer want. Give from the heart, not from what you no longer want. And we're talking about this because my pastor had a drive, a shoe on a sock drive, and she said some of the stuff that came in was terrible. Worn out, holes in it, and all kind of stuff. And we're talking about give from the heart, not what you no longer want. What do you say to that?
I totally disagree. Everybody's heart ain't the same. You can't give from the heart if you don't have no idea of what a person is going through. And everybody's heart is just not the same. So I've learned that we have a program here. I don't know if anybody's been paying attention, but we just did I've been working as interim director over the Scott Ike Center here in Kansas City, in which we started off with 65 homeless people. Scott Ike was a young man that was frozen to death. He died, froze to death. So Anton Washington, in his group, decided to do a warming center. Anton ended up having heart surgery, so I ended up going in as interim director. So since I've been interim director, we went from 65 to 300 people. With that being said, so they ended up having to open up Bartle Hall. The city did come in. I had pulled out for a second because they had so many different entities like Restart, which gets over $700,000. They have City Union Mission here that gets $400,000 or $500,000. So City Union Mission can house up to 400 people. But why we haven't? But they're not even at capacity. They're not even at half the capacity. So the question is here: a lot of these people a lot of these entities are getting the funding, but the work is not getting done. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. So sometimes you can't give from the heart. I believe that somebody had to have a conversation with the director of Restart here because they get so much money. And her positioning is she has the degrees, she has this, but if you have no benevolence, who cares about your degrees? You're here every day because you make over $100,000. These people here are volunteers. So who am I going to feel more comfortable with? Dealing with people that really care. Not because you're here for you make $100,000. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying going to work every day and getting paid is one thing, but if you're not benevolent, you get to that point where you feel like you are above everybody and everything. That becomes a problem and an issue.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Because,
that's good. So
a lot of people.
When you see everybody can't give from their heart, explain that to me.
Everybody can't give from the heart because your heart might not even be there. You're giving what you feel. You giving what you feel that you want. You're not giving from the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you gave from the heart, then you'll know that temporary housing is not where it needs to be. They need permanent housing. So if the city spent, let's say $13 million on, actually they spent $19 million on redoing housing dogs. They built a dog shelter for $19 million. Is that given from the heart? When they know that people here that are tax-paying citizens.
I can't. I understand what you're saying, and it make perfect sense what you're saying. But I can't say that it's not, because maybe their heart is in taking care of a lot of people's heart is in taking care of animals more than it is in taking care of people, and so they're actually giving from their heart in that regard, because their heart is, they care more for animals than they do people. And so I can answer that question.
I love animals. I'm an animal person. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But am I going to overlook people?
Mm-hmm. But see,
is that a good business? My question is that a good business sense? Don't look like it to me.
It depends on the individual, guys, because I can't say that, because some people have left their whole life savings and earnings and everything to their dogs. They didn't care nothing about people. They left their whole everything they had. They signed it over to a dog, and the dog was the heir of everything that they had. Now, would somebody like you and I would we say that makes sense? Absolutely not. But that's what their heart was. Go ahead, Shira.
And that's why I say that everybody can't give from the heart.
No,
that's why I
true,
say that.
That's not true. That's not true though. That's not true though, because their heart, they gave from their heart, and their heart, maybe they don't have the same heart that you and I have, but they gave from their heart. Go ahead, Shira.
I was about to say, you have to understand too, some people view their fur people, they treat their animals as people, and they look at them as a person. They don't see them as an animal. They have a whole different mind frame. And the only reason why I say that, because I have a dog. Chico Bean is the name. Chico Bean is the name of my Chihuahua. And when I took my Chihuahua to the vet, I saw how many people actually view their animals as people and treat them as such. They talk to them, they walk with them, they're their companion. They look at them as people. So their heart, like I say, when you say give from your heart, I understand what God is saying. If you don't have a heart, how can you give? Even in your dark, even people with dark hearts still give. They may give to darkness or to things that are not, that we feel are good, but they still give. They give to the gambling Reno. They give to, wherever they put their money, and wherever, say out of heart comes issues of life. You have a heart, whether it's good or bad, whether it's stony, because even Pharaoh had a heart because God hardened his heart. So everyone has a heart. Now, whether or not how you give from that, it just depends on what you put value in. People may put more value in animals because people have let them down, hurt them. Why would they give to a person that robbed them or raped them or molested them, or, they have a bad view of people? So they love animals. I say still, I'm with you though, spending that type of money on a shelter, but that's because my mind frame is not the same as theirs.
Exactly. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. We're talking about give from the heart, not from what you don't need. And good morning.
Good morning. I'm sorry, I am cold. Oh man, I had something. My brain just, yeah.
Okay. It's
giving
it's
some.
the cold, brother. It's the cold.
Yeah, we got a foot of snow in Northeast Texas. What is this?
Wait a minute. We got some outside my house. I'm in Louisiana. I'm frozen. It's 7 degrees. We have never had 7-degree weather in all my life. I don't know what to do. Everything's shut down. We can't go nowhere. I'm locked in, y'all.
Look, Pole baby, y'all get a little bit of snow. Pole baby, we get snow all the time right here. Pole baby, y'all just
man,
shut down the whole state because y'all got a little bit of snow.
I woke up and thought I was back in South Carolina.
You're right. South Carolina gets snow. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But what's on your heart, Badger?
I've ended up having to learn how to tone it down, because whenever I saw someone in need or something of that sort, I'd give it away, even if it was the last I had. And I've seen a lot of people that just don't know what that means. And when you try to explain it to them, it's almost like they just don't understand.
You think people are just selfish?
I don't know if it's selfish or they just lack understanding. Like they're not connected to their heart. Because I've had a lot of people, when I do it, they'd accuse me of being manipulative or doing it to get something in return or things of that nature. There's not really anything in the house that I want. So like, even when it comes to, this computer I have, my wife would probably have to stop me from giving it away. And it's not that I no longer want it. I mean, I enjoy PC gaming. That's how I help people. I'm part of health organizations and stuff that, are gamers with mental health issues and things like that. So I spend a lot of my time helping talk to people and all that kind of stuff. So it's a strange concept to give something away that I no longer want when there's not a lot of things I actually want.
That's good. That's good. Let me go to Curtis. Then I'm going to Toya with a T. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Curtis, I'm about to say it to you, brother. I'm about to say it to you. Curtis, wake up and go to sleep. Wake up and go to sleep. Toya with a T, you there?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
What's on your heart, sis? And Bishop say, I ain't giving my money to no dog.
I mean, hey, well, if that's the only person that you're fooling with, people give money to their dogs for a reason. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why. Like you said earlier, we'd rather not deal with you deal with animals, and if that's the case, then, I mean, that's who you're going to give your money to. Some people getting money to the state.
Toya, do you think, Toya, do you think that, because of, especially a dog, they're so loyal, do you think that a person just trusts the dog more than they trust people?
No, it's not about trust. It's about the distrust of the human being. And oftentimes we're so petty with each other, right? Because we still mad with mom about a hot, cold sandwich from elementary school. Right? We still mad with the cousins and the brothers because they said something when we was 12 and we 47 and getting ready to retire. Right? So this is where we get when we want to give the money to the dog anyway. The dog listens to everything you got to say. You can't control the human being. And it's absolutely unfair to say, if you're giving from your heart, you're going to give to that human being whether they do what you say do or not.
Yeah.
Now, if they don't do it, then you ain't got to deal with them. But the right thing, and this is how God works in my life, it's not about what they do to you. It's about what I put in you to do for them. And it's not, you know, when I get up and I work for my family's legacy. And I got outside of that for a second because I would have gave my money to the dogs in the state too, but that was a deception of the devil. I work for my generation. I'm the Moses of my family. I'm the Noah and the Abraham. So it is my duty and my diligence to not only walk with a kind of integrity that won't taint my generational seed, but to understand that everything I do today is building in the concept and the foundation for my generations to come. So I won't be giving my money to my dog. I will be setting it up in provisions for nieces and nephews, grandnieces, grandnephews, with provisions to work, operate businesses, or whatever, what have you. But I definitely understand because, yeah, you can control the dog. Yeah, the dog is going, yeah, you can beat that dog and that dog's still going to love you. Absolutely. So, you know, when it comes to us humans, we always want to have a double standard. You can be mean to the dog, the dog's still loyal to you. Yeah. You can't even be mean. The kid can't be mean to you, and you be loyal to the human. Like, again, touches of mental illness.
Wow.
There's something wrong with that. It feels like you're so mad with the people and the humans, and you can't forgive them to give your money to an animal. Like, come on, man. You know, so from a humanistic aspect, you know, of course, when we can't control another human being, we can't get them to roll over, sit down, or do tricks. Yeah, we want to, you know, refrain from giving them anything or doing anything for them. You know, even with our kids, the cycle. Oh, well, you don't do well in school, you don't do chores, you don't get anything. You know, so absolutely, we totally lose sight of what we're trying to do and what we're supposed to be doing for generations when we get to that mindset that we want to give our house cards.
Exactly. We're gonna go in this order right here. We're gonna go on Rico, Bishop, and then Kay. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
I truly believe that people that leave that kind of money to animals, like this man that left $5 million last week to his dog, and with a Leona Helmsley, she left $1 million up in New York to her animals. And those people are Scrooges. We all know what Scrooges are. Sometimes we could complicate things and try to make it seem like, oh man, these people did it for a good reason. Maybe it was a good thing. I'm guaranteeing you that man that left that $5 million to that dog has seen a couple thousand people that money could have helped out.
Yes, sir.
He knows some children that probably sleeping on the curb, needing heating and air conditioning. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, so many homeless people that $5 million could have helped. And he left it to a dog that won't probably live no more than 12 or 13 years. And the upkeep of that dog won't even take $5 million. So, I mean, you know, sometimes we just got to make things be very simple and practical. You know, even when doing charity, you know, you got a very simple way to prove that somebody is doing it right. And that's because there is some logic or some reasoning, some rationale behind it. Okay, let me give you a prime example. If you went and bought a homeless person red bottoms, Jordans, or LeBrons, and some polo clothes, clean. So, you know, I know practically when you say put yourself in somebody else's shoes, I look at somebody homeless and I'll say, well, you know what? If that was me, looking at what they're going through, observing what my eyes are seeing, if that was me, I would probably wish I had somewhere to wash my clothes and bathe more than I had some new clothes, because these new clothes will soon and they're going to stink. And people going to look at me like, look at him walking around with them dirty polos on. Somebody bought that polo for him and wasted their money. He polo from the Goodwill. And so, you know, and see, there's 4 different reactions that's going to come with benevolence or with charity. But when you are sincerely doing it, it's such an overwhelming feeling of joy when you do it for the right reason. I mean, I don't know if y'all ever saved their life or pulled anybody out of despair. But when you see somebody down on their last leg looking like they just done gave up and don't nobody care, and then you finally show them that you do care, when you see that appreciation, that's all the reward in the world. And that those type of things really will show you what your thought process was. Because logically, I mean, myself, I would prefer, well, I ain't gonna say I prefer, I would most likely tell a homeless person that they can come see me once a week to wash their clothes. Or buy them something, because see, if I just go buy it for them and give it to them, I done did. It's up to them. But they still in a certain situation. Now, it ain't my job to take care of them. But at the same time, I also know that is a need that they have.
Exactly.
They have clothes. That need is to make sure that those clothes keep getting clean up. Because before you know it, everybody start giving them clothes. And once they see the example, they see the trend, then they start doing it for looking at me. They start getting an overabundance of clothes. Now they got a whole bunch of dirty clothes they still can't get washed. It could be very simple. And a homeless person to hear you say, "Hey, you can come wash your clothes at my house once a week," they'll break down crying before they cry for that $100 or that $1,000 you give them.
That's good. That's good.
They need to wash. The hygiene. Something simple as much as hygiene can go so much further than the polo pants that you probably didn't want to buy them and give them to them, but you're going to buy it because it's polo. And when people see you get this whole homeless man this new polo outfit, woo, man, you're going to go viral.
Exactly. Bishop, what's on your heart?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm blessed, man. I've just been listening to the show and thought I'd give a call.
We definitely appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it. We're talking about and giving. Giving is our topic today. Give from your heart, not what you no longer need or no longer want. What do you say to that?
Well, that's a good topic first and foremost. And if anybody's going to give something, she gives freely without, grudging or should I give it to him? If it's embedded in your heart, give someone and give it to them, don't you worry about it. Falls in line with every holiday you come up to Christmas, and I'm going to go buy a mink coat for my wife, but then turn my wife brings me a platinum handkerchief that she got from Family Dollar. And I gave from the heart. What did I? Good question.
Good question. Good question. And
no, anytime you give from the heart, she won't always give your best to an individual. But if you do it in a manner that you sort of grudgingly gave or didn't want to really give, but you just did it for appearance sake, it's not sincere. I think God is speaking on that order of not having a heart for something to that degree. So, we should give straight from the heart and give your best. Like we do for the Lord, we give our best to the Lord. You don't just come to him what you want to do and think you're going to accept it. So,
exactly.
I hope I was in the ballpark of the question that was asked in some conversation.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Let me go to K with the E. K with the E. Then after that, we're going to our Goddess, Toya, and then Badger. K, you there?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
What's on your heart?
I'm here. I just like to give, and and if it's something that I don't want, then I'll give it to one of my kids or something. Hey, I don't want this no more. Or somebody like that, but to a complete stranger, I'm not going to give them something I don't want.
That's good. That's good. Let's go to our Goddess. What's on your heart?
Well, by me working with a lot of homeless, I think the best thing that we can give is to give them a way to fish so they can feed themselves. Clothes, food, and everything is good, but giving them an opportunity to be able to feed themselves and put a roof over their heads is what I'm seeing is what they want. They want to get their dignity back. They want to get everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've been paying attention to. I have a program called Housing with Divine Connections, where we do housing. We try to get people in housing. We also try to work with them with getting food stamps, driver's license, ID, so they can go back to work. A lot of people don't realize that's what they need. How many times people give them the money because now you need like 3 different IDs in order to get a job. You got to have a birth certificate to go get your driver's license. With your driver's license, you got to have a piece of mail, social security card, You got to have like all these three different things. So a lot of these people, if you don't have an address, you can't get none of that information. Like it's a catch-22. A lot of people don't realize that. And that's what I've been working hard with. And basically I set up a table the other day, and I had so many comrades that came in to assist. And if anybody watched that new movie, Judas with the Black Panthers, well, the Black Panthers did so much positive in our community that I wish we could start another Black Panther chapter, because we needed that. We needed that. Unfortunately, the government just basically got upset behind it and tore it down. I mean, like, it was just horrible. But they did so much good in our community, and they helped build, teaching them about ownership, teaching them about becoming actually self-sufficient. And that's what our community needs. And once we become self-sufficient, and not only did he just bring in just the Black community, he brought in the poor white community. He brought in the Mexican community. He brought it in. We are all community, and we all need to learn to work together. And that's what I loved about the whole movie. And I say documentary, because that was true. So there's a difference between a movie and a documentary.
Good deal. Toya with a T, what's on your heart?
Yeah, I am.
That was water.
That thing go. Let's just make it happen. Let's just make it happen. Each individual, each household, each person that wants change. Let's just make it happen. It starts right where we are. If we continue to wait on another party, we're never going to find a party that we feel like we can fit in, and therefore our work goes undone. I feel like these parties, and even if we go back to the Bible with Jesus and Moses and everybody else fighting, they have to be a leader, they have to lead their people through a wilderness. Like, we don't need to wait on anyone else. God needs you, us, all. Not 1 out of 2 billion, not 15 out of 3 billion, not 17 out of 370 billion people that's on the earth. All of us that feel like we need change. We don't need to wait for another party. We don't need to wait on another group or gang. Each of us as we are. And I was in conversation with my nephew, because he asked me a question to the degree of, well, auntie, where do I start? I said, it start with you, baby. It start with you manning up, being a man to your mama, your sister, your brother, your aunt, your uncle, your cousins, your nephews, right there where you are. And that is going to be contagious. It's going to take flight, because we follow you.
Yep, exactly.
So once you decide to rise up where you are, you're going to see changes. And once, we see it, everybody else is going to be on board. So I think that it's very important that we look around and acknowledge the only people are going to save us is us, not the government group, not the agencies group that they say are supposed to protect us, not the police officer group. The only people who want to save us and protect us is us. And the only thing we have to do is look around and see the truthfulness of that.
Exactly. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, talking about like the homeless stuff, that's something I still couldn't understand, like there's so many empty houses and so many things out there, and some of them would deny it even if you offered it. Like, I know that there are people out there like that. They enjoy where they are. But the others that, could use the help to get back on their feet and things of that nature, they could turn out to be amazing human beings. But rarely are most of them given a chance. There's only a handful that, are actually end up meeting somebody that that actually helps them get back on their feet.
Exactly.
And the funny part is most of them were ones that were already there, that's been there. So they're kind of doing the pay it forward thing. So I do think that a lot of people lack the experience of knowing what it's like and have the stigma that a lot of people on the streets are there because of their own choices.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
No. Go ahead. You going somewhere. Go ahead, brother. I like what you
So it's to me, it feels like a lot of times when people would potentially give from the heart, they base everything on stigmas.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much judgment of when they should or shouldn't help somebody because there's so many stigmas of it's a waste of time, it's a waste of money, and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, I don't think a lot of them realize it's just as good to helping them as it is good for your soul.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Curtis, let me ask you this question, man. What do you think? What do you think, Kirk, about someone leaving $5 million to a dog? Is that given from the heart?
No, because your heart gave with malice. If you left $5 million to a dog, I heard you earlier before something happened with the phone line. But I want you to understand something. You leave $5 million to a dog because you don't like humans.
Mm-hmm.
You just left humans the ability to choose exactly where that money goes. You left it to a dog, somebody's going to get the dog. Whoever gets the dog is going to get the money.
Mm-hmm.
So I have always taught myself to be very, very cognizant of being, what's the word I'm looking for? Being hateful or allowing my hate to take precedent over what is right.
Retaliatory.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Say again?
Retaliatory.
Yeah, retaliatory. Like,
mm-hmm.
Listen, your hate makes me, sometimes I think we don't wrap our mind around, like, really, like, it's just like Michael Jackson left. I think he left some money to the monkey.
Mm.
Bubbles.
Yeah.
Okay, you left some money to Bubbles. Okay. But if you left that money because you didn't want humans to get it, I mean, what do you think? Bubbles learn how to speak English and open up a bank account? Ain't got a social security number overnight? No. Bubbles went to a benefactor. The benefactor got the money to take care of Bubbles. Or the benefactor might have said, you know what, I got this money, but Bubbles belong in the lot. Sometimes I don't understand. Well, I guess you should understand, but sometimes I wonder, like, something my mom used to say to me when I used to make crazy decisions.
Mm-hmm.
What were you thinking? Because you tried to avoid one thing, and you opened up the floodgates for that one thing you was trying to avoid. Because now it's a bidding war over Bubbles. It's a bidding war over that dog. Now the family fighting over that dog.
Mm-hmm.
But that dog is the one that got the money.
Yep.
So I think in those types of situations, I think there's a tendency for people to make decisions because of hate.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my recollection, and in the way I was brought up, hate has no power in terms of love.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Counterbalancing or reality. So, something that Toya said right here that I want to chime in on too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, something that just Toya, but here's how I perceive just society. We have gotten so used to and comfortable with placing folks, situations, and circumstances in categories.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things that I try to do is let people know that at this point in time, we can no longer say the government and the people. Because the last time I looked, the government is the people.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And we have been sold this false dichotomy that it is different. And it is not.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand the ploy for which the selling of the item or the selling of the belief, I understand the ploy for which that came. It goes back to, and I'll just end with this, it goes back, Raheem, to one time we was on your show on a Friday, and we was talking about business.
Mm-hmm.
And started talking about supply and demand. And it goes back to even the shifting of that concept. Because here's how folks have manipulated people. If you believe in supply and demand, you have been manipulated. The real ideology in my mind is not supply and demand. It's demand and supply. Me and you can make a widget that does absolutely nothing. Who's going to buy it?
Nobody.
No one.
Mm-hmm. Good
but
deal.
If there's a demand for our widget, then who's going to buy it?
Everybody.
Everybody. So I think we got to understand a little further. You know, she was on point. It starts with us.
Mm-hmm. Good deal.
We really need to understand that further. You know, that it starts with us, it ends with us, and we are that. Period.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying.
Good deal. Let me go. We got another call from the 678 area code. 678. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, this is Annette Davis Jackson. Good morning.
Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
I am so perfect.
Good deal. Good deal. What we're talking about is give from your heart, not what you no longer want. And it came from my pastor. She's having a drive, a shoe and a sock drive. And she said some of the things that's not all, but some of the things that people are bringing in are very undesirable. They're worn out, they're ran over, and all kind of different things. And we're saying give from your heart, not what you no longer want. So, Annette, what's on your heart about that?
Wow. Well, put it this way: they do give. Okay, the Bible says, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." Pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall move into your bosom. Now, if your pastor, because she feels that it's run down, doesn't want to give it to somebody else, that's the wrong flavor, right? Hey, you put it out there, you let people get what they desire. But let me tell you, sometimes that's all people have to give, you know? And so when people do give like that, it's so that they can get a blessing too, right? So that something in their life can change. So even if it's little, let me tell you, I do a ministry downtown Woodruff Park with a Vietnamese pastor, and he brings coats and blankets or whatever, and guess what? People can choose what they want to. And I say it is.
But see, I don't
run over socks, and you don't have no socks. You're gonna take those socks. So I love giving. I mean, giving has always been such a part of my life. And I think that's why I'm blessed today, is because of my giving factor. I don't even care if it's going to last $5. I know that somebody is going to, give me $5, or I'm going to get another contract, or I'm going to do another website, something. So, no, giving is such important. And I'll tell you this, the brother talked about the business and supply and demand. When I first ran for Congress when I was 31, and now I'm 58, and I went down to Congress for 2.5 months. what I learned is that we were even in big business because we didn't know how to scale up, because we didn't know that to take the those numbers. We didn't know how to take that to the stamp system so that we could better recontract. And this is what I'm teaching others now. After I've been a financial coach for United Way. So all it takes is for somebody to show how to, because your product can sell if it's good. So we have to go back to how do we give, how do we increase our philanthropy, but then how do we get into the game of business so that we can solve needs.
Mm-hmm. And I hear what you're saying, but my thing is where I kind of differ with you on what you said is, you know, long as they gave, and you have a right to feel that way. I feel a little differently. You know, they go in your closet and they get the worst of the worst that you have, run down, worn out, holes and stuff like that in it, and say I'm going to give it. You know, I question that a little bit. Yes, you gave. Yes, you gave. But I question that. I question that concept. Go ahead.
You know what? But the thing about it, I don't question anything. You know, because we always want to micromanage things at all times. But if I reach my closet and that's what I gave, then that's what I gave. Now, if somebody else wants to throw it out, that's fine. But at least I'm getting to a point where I can give. Some people don't give nothing. You go and you see their pack rats. They got a whole lot of stuff. They got tags still on new stuff and all that kind of stuff.
Okay, now let me ask you this question, sister. Let me ask you this question. And you're absolutely right. There's a lot of people, and I want to go. We're going to go in this order right here, just so everybody know. We're going to go on Rico, Shira, and then Bishop. That's what order we're going next. But I want to say this right here. And you're absolutely right. There are some people that have stuff in their closet, been in their closet for months or even years, that still have the tags on it. Why not give that instead of going and searching through the closet and find something that you don't even want, that's dirty, that's worn out, and have holes in it, and give that instead of the stuff that you're not gonna wear? It's been in your closet for 6 months, a year with a tag on it. 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna wear it or wear it no time soon. Why not give that?
Well, true, but you have to remember, it says give and it should be given unto you. So it didn't say, okay, give. It doesn't matter if you have a hole in it or not. So a lot of times, I think we actually were line by line, precept by precept.
I think that's a play. I think that's a play on words right there. I think that's a real play on words right there. I think we're playing on words because give from the heart, and so many times it says the word heart is in there. And I don't, and this is just me talking. I could be totally wrong. I've been wrong before. Mike might be wrong. Okay, that's your opinion. I don't think I'm wrong. That's your opinion. But my thing is this right here. If I'm gonna give somebody something, and it's just me. This is just me. I'm not gonna give them something I don't want. Something that that's worn over. That's totally just no good. Why would I give somebody my garbage? Why I might as well just take my garbage out my trash can, take it and just here, whatever's in here you can have it, but the rest of it just throw it away. What sense does that make?
That's like ex-husbands and ex-wives. Shoot, hey, that might be part of the garbage too. If somebody came and dusted that stuff off,
sister, you going in a totally you going in a totally different direction.
Going to the grocery store.
Sis. Okay, hold on. Okay, and that. Come on now. Come on. As intelligent as you are, I know you didn't just say that. As intelligent as you are, and that. Excuse me for a second. As intelligent as you are, I know you didn't just say that with a clear and a plain heart. Okay, let's move on. Hold on. Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
I missed something, right?
Huh? No. No, she was saying it's like I said it's like doing something like that is like going into your garbage and picking up your garbage and taking it and giving it to somebody and say whatever's good you can have it, or whatever ain't good just throw it away, and treating a person like that. And she says like a husband, somebody in the grocery store could take your husband and blah blah blah. Okay, go ahead, Rico. What's on your heart?
Ex-wife.
Husband or wives, yeah. Rico?
I'm trying to relate that. I'm trying to get the relation.
There isn't any, brother. There isn't any. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious if you're doing it for the right reason, you want to make sure it's utilized.
Mm-hmm.
So you wouldn't want to hey, you see some homeless people, children need a size 8 shoe. You ain't gonna say, well, hey, I got a size 6. Make it do what it do. You get what I'm saying? I mean, you'd be better off. They'd be better off with the little holy shoes they got if the foot coming out the bottom of them. At least they can fit. At least they ain't beating up the toes. I mean, so you just can't give just to say you gave or give. Just be happy. You hear a lot of people say that, and a lot of times those people come from an abusive place, a controlling place. Just be happy I gave it to you. I didn't have to give you nothing. And then sometimes it would have been better off not to give nothing if you just think that they're supposed to accept it because you gave it. Like I said, it has to be compassion. It has to be some logic behind it. You don't want to go buying people stuff for infants. They need Pampers and they need clothes for a 3-month-old, but you buying clothes for a year-old child.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I mean, at least I gave something. Somebody else could use it. Well, these people still need it. I mean, are you actually just putting it out there for anybody to get, or are you directly trying to affect somebody or have an impact on somebody that really needs it? I mean, like I said, if you're trying to give charity, you're trying to be philanthropic, you got to be wanting to achieve a goal. You got to be wanting to help relieve or alleviate somebody's problem. And then at the same time, get that joy out of the fact that you helped that person come from a dark place. Not for the fact that just to say that you did it. Just accept it. At least I did it. Because like I said, that goes back earlier to what I said. You buy somebody some food, but they don't eat mayonnaise. They might be lettuce. They might be allergic to tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
But you just eat it because it's Chick-fil-A. I just spent all this good money on this Chick-fil-A. You know how much this Chick-fil-A buy? Hey, yo, homeless butt better eat this chicken sandwich. But wait a minute, I'm allergic to it. I'm not being picky. Beggars can't be choosy. Oh man, we hear that all the time. So you begging. So I'm gonna help you because you begging, beggar. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's some great charity. So like I said, you know when it's really coming from the correct place. When it's coming from the right place, the person that's giving the charity is gonna make sure it is the correct type of charity to be given, not just give out something that they don't want no more.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Goddess, what's on your heart?
Wow, it's just so much.
Hold on.
Go ahead, Shiro. I'm gonna let Shiro, and then I'll go after Shiro.
No. Go ahead, Goddess.
Well, I'm just gonna say this is hilarious. This is really hilarious. To me, what we just witnessed was people have no clue what is needed out here for those who don't have. Okay? When I say with that $1 million spirit, if you don't have no clue what people really need out here, and you think you just give them whatever you got and it's trash, but we'll give, and there's a difference. Okay, if I set some trash outside, somebody come by and say, hey, because somebody's stuff is a treasure, that is a whole different scenario of what we're talking about right now. What we're talking about is giving to the needy for those who need in order to continue out here in life, to move forward in these frigid temperatures. They don't need socks with holes in them. They need socks, wool socks. They don't need a little thin jacket. They need a big, thick coat. Mm-hmm. These freezing temperatures out here in Kansas City is -8 degrees today. It'll be -18 later. So there's a big difference in throwing away trash.
Goddess, I'm wondering who are you agreeing with right now?
Well, I ain't agreeing with somebody just spoke of this on $1 million level, Miss Jackson. I love you, but that mentality, that mentality where you can give anybody anything and it's acceptable because you're giving from the heart. No, you're not giving from the heart. If you're walking around with a $1,500 Louis Vuitton bag, and you got $1,500 in your cash, and you giving me $10, that ain't from the heart. You just giving, just to say you gave. That's the difference. Those are the ones that say, hey, I did this for so-and-so, because they need those accolades. There's a difference. Mm-hmm. There's a big difference.
Okay. I was just confused because, you know, I didn't know who you was agreeing with. That's how I just want some clarity as to who you was agreeing with. Okay, Shira, I did skip you, but coming back to you, what's on your heart? Oh Lord, see, Lord, what my mute button? Let me get my mute button ready, cause Lord, she about to act up.
They said they gonna change that name to Annette Benicia Screws.
Wow. Wow. They ain't gonna let y'all treat Annette like that. Y'all be nice to her now. That's still my sister.
Annette Benicia. I'm just tripping.
What was the caller name?
Annette Benicia.
No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Annette Jackson. Don't listen to Rico.
Hey, I loved it when you said that's just like my trading ex-husbands and ex-wives. You get my trash, so you think it's gold. Okay, I died on that one for real. I did. I died 2 deaths because I'm going through a situation where I've been trying to get my divorce and he ain't want it until he got with this chick, but she wanted. I told you, getting a good man, girl. Get this divorce out. So I relate.
Badger, you see how they acting up, right? Badger, you see how they acting up, right? You see this, right? Okay, Badger, okay. And Rico ain't here because but I don't know what Rico just said. I don't know what he.
Hey, get my trash, girl.
Lord.
But anyway, but for real, when we talk about giving, you know, giving from your heart or giving what you have, we have to understand if you have more, give more. You know, if you have less, give what you can. Remember when Jesus was sitting there and everyone was giving, they was giving all they had. They was giving gold, they was giving everything. And this one lady had some alabaster oil. That's all she had. And she blessed Jesus' feet with that alabaster oil. And Jesus said this was more because she had gave with everything she had. That was, I mean, it was worth more than someone with $1 million giving 100. You know, so when you're giving from your heart, let's not get it twisted, okay? When you're giving from your heart, because like you say, out of hearts come issues of life. If you have a heart and you're in a good place and a good standing with Christ, you are going to give righteously. And if you not saved and say, you ain't with all of that, and you giving from what, from your humanistic point of view, your flesh, then that's totally different, because flesh is going to say, hey, whatever I give you, you need to use. Your flesh is going to say, well, hey, at least I gave something. But when we go deeper into who we, go deeper into our spiritual beings and say, you know what, I'm going to get these shoes right here. It might be my last pair of shoes, but someone needed more than me. So it's a difference in the way you give. And that difference comes from who you represent and who you are. Because God said, I am that I am. God said, I'm a cheerful giver. And we get that confused. You're supposed to give out of cheerfulness, out of happiness, out of, I'm giving, I'm giving, not out of a duty, not because you have to, not because it's something that you want publicity for or accolades or whatever. And even if you give foolishly, like the user just say, even you can't give, like my mama used to always tell me, Christy, you give so much that people use you. And I used to say, well, they used to use Jesus then because he gave abundantly. He gave his life that I may have soul salvation. And it's most people not even appreciative of that because they don't believe. So you cannot be used or give foolishly when you're giving in Christ. It's just your motive in giving that makes you that makes it bad or good. If you giving out of a good motive, if you giving somebody some money because you know that they're needed, yes, they need their rent, and they go and buy drugs or whatever else, That don't matter. Your intent and what you did is going to matter because you're building your kingdom in heaven, and God recognizes a cheerful giver. You putting good, I'm going to say jujus, you putting good spirits in the air for yourself, because as you give, it comes back to you. So it doesn't matter what they do with it. It's all matters that when I give to you out of free of my heart, it's going to come back to me tenfold.
All right, preacher. All right, preacher. Let me keep this thing going. Badger, I'm coming to you. I say I'm going to go to Bishop next. Bishop, what's on your heart? Bishop?
I'm listening, and I understand the thought of giving and giving from the heart. And I'm not going to give my voice give from the heart because I'm not used. I got a pair of shoes, but the tongue is flat.
Mm-hmm.
You got a hole in it. I'm going to give you these shoes. I would do that. I give them some great shoes that I no longer wear. That'd be the case.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to do it from the best of my heart, not just from a place. Yeah, I'm in need of a truck, man. You got trucks in your driveway. You say, Greg, I'm going to give you this truck, man. It needs an engine, but I'm going to give it to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already got the money. And you giving this truck with a dead engine, what are they going to do to me?
Mm-hmm.
But you gave it to me from your heart. You gave it to me free because you wasn't using it. But it doesn't have an engine. It doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You give to somebody that's in need, but you give them something that they can use. And don't just do it because, okay, at least I gave you something. That ain't how it works.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't fair for anybody. It ain't fair for you because you get mad if I gave you something like that yourself.
Exactly.
So you got to think about, if I give, I want to give them something that they can really use without feeling bad and getting it and then putting themselves into another situation because they're already in the bad place right now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And again, I go back to saying, we come to Christ, we give him what we want to give. We give everything to the devil. We curse, we drink, we lie, we steal. And then on Sunday, I'm giving it to the Lord because I know it's good. I'm tired. I'm asleep during the service. But I know at least I'm at church.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that's represented. Your God is there, but your mind is there.
Exactly.
Yes, you gave it here. You gave it. But was it a quality gift?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to think about.
Absolutely.
So, I'm listening to everybody and, laughing at some of the stuff is funny. Because the reality is, if you give it from the heart, you want to get the best.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do it for a name, accolades, anything. You do it because your heart is touched and somebody's thinking you something.
Good deal.
And that's what I do.
We actually we're at 9:59, but I want to touch a few people before we get out of here. I'm going to go to Badger, Leonard, Toya, and then Curtis. Badger?
After hearing some of the things that are being said, I got this crazy idea that I've been thinking about for years, that politicians, once they're elected, should live on the streets for a year. Mm-hmm. After that, they should serve another full year working, I'd say about 4 months each at 3 different jobs, of one place at Walmart, one place at a fast food restaurant, and another, I'm not quite sure because that's a tricky one. I'd probably say like healthcare. Mm-hmm. And then let them be able to afford their own health insurance and their own houses. Mm-hmm. And the reason I'm like saying it that way is it's interesting to hear those kind of perspectives, because I have literally seen people get rid of $100 clothes and think that was giving from the heart to a Goodwill or TVs or their old computers or things of that nature. Yeah, that'll work. In the last 4 months they can spend in a county jail. That sounds like fun. And it's not me being like hateful or anything. It's just, it literally seems like people that grow up in the mid to upper class have no idea what struggle really is. Mm-hmm. So they just have this illusion of thinking they're speaking for people when they don't have the experience to back it up.
That's good.
And unfortunately, that's one of those topics that if you approach me on, I will get up on a soapbox about. Because I'm getting real fed up with the politicians that think they're speaking for us, making all these rules and laws that are actually causing more issues for us than actually helping us. So then we have to get more people to stick together, to stand up and work together to actually make a difference, because we're having to fight a whole bunch of people that have no idea what we talking about because they ain't never struggled. Most of them's had everything handed to them, or they learned how to trick and use people to get what they got.
Well, when you said trick, you know, I'm a street dude, man. My mind went somewhere else. Okay,
Oh, I'm not talking about that.
Oh, okay, I'm a street dude, man.
Good God.
I think okay. I mean, you said learn
manipulate. They manipulate people.
Okay. Huh?
We need to mute our. We need to mute you. You ain't no street. We need to mute you.
Okay.
Need to mute me? Okay. All right. Cool.
And
Rico.
I don't. And I'm not being disrespectful. I'm literally just speaking from the fact that, you know, most wisdom is gained from experience. And if they don't have the experience of struggling most of their life and living in those situations, how in the world can they honestly speak about it other than what some scientist says based on a study? And most of the people that did the study haven't lived there.
Exactly. Good deal. Let me go to Leonard. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, I was almost glazed over.
Look at.
I just want to tell people, whatever you can do your best. Do your best most of the time. You know, I just sit back and listen. You know, one thing about the giving part is I just prefer to be a giver. You know, and I doing what I can. So I don't make a lot of value judgments. It's good to know who you're giving to. That's one good thing. I know my wife has a thing with giving clothes and things away. Give them to people who are going to give them away, not to people who are going to sell them. That type of thing. But to each his own. You know, I don't sit back and not give because of what anyone says or does. You should give out of the abundance of your heart. So, you know, I'm assuming, this may be just me, that some people have a lot of these issues because they have so much. That don't come from a place of having so much. So it's not about what we have. It's about what people need. So, you know, you look at the needs first. And then you give out, you know, you give what you can. And the Bible, like I say, you got some people pick and choose. But also it says you have time, talent, and treasure to give. We need to stop hating. I don't like people where every time somebody rich gives something, first thing they say, oh, they getting it back. That's a negative spirit. Because you don't know who that's going to help.
And Leonard, let me say something to what you're saying. To your point, Leonard. When Oprah on her show, she gave away them cars. First thing people was talking about, oh man, she's just getting it back on her taxes. Hold on, these people still getting a car.
People are so trifling. And you know, it's almost. I mean, is it closely related to covetousness or jealousness, or jealousy, or something of that nature, where one even aggravates you to see and to qualify somebody else's gift? I don't understand that whole notion that someone sits around and criticizes what someone else gives. So hopefully people are giving out of they've seen someone who has a need. That's what you should give to, the need.
Exactly. Good deal. Thor, you want to T, you there?
Yeah.
What's on your heart, sis?
Well, no, everybody's absolutely right. You know, giving is big. You know, giving is huge. That's the giving and receive. You know what I'm saying? It's very huge. But then, yes, absolutely, you need to take it into perspective. You know, giving out of your need. I remember, again, throughout the deliverance, the Lord said, "Joy, what you want out of life?" I said, "Well, Lord, you know, I'm a big victim, Lord. I want business." He said, "Okay, it's not yours to keep." I want to get that in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
You said, "Wait a minute, hold up. So you think that the Lord would fund billions of dollars in my hands and not make sure it's taken care of?" So my concept is, whatever it is for me, if God leads me there to do it, I want to do it because I feel like He will give me everything I need to fulfill it. You know, so of course, when some of us get what people get, it is coveted. Thou shalt not covet. Yeah. What somebody else got, what somebody else wants. It might be not for you for a reason. Again, like Cain and Abel. It was a favor because, you know, the one what he said. And that caused favor. So, you know, sometimes for those who may not be having favor, you know, that might be something to look at. You know, are you giving from your heart? Are you giving? You could be giving your millions, but in the back of your mind, you can't stand these Negroes. And I need these Negroes to take these millions because I got this, that, and the third down here, and I'm going to do this. And if I just give to the Negroes, they're going to fall for whatever traps I got set ahead.
Come on.
God is going to judge on that as well. So you can't be too deceived by what someone is giving us. And you know, but at the end of the day, go ahead, brother.
And we ain't gonna say nothing about I left the club. We ain't gonna say nothing about that.
I ain't gonna do it. Okay,
no.
Okay.
Okay. No.
Okay. Don't do it. Okay, I won't. I won't do it. But I'm just saying, somebody said this earlier. You know, even the homeless guy who don't have nothing, when he sees the next person and it's that last bite of his sandwich, or it's that holy pair of shoes that he did get. See, when they give that to each other, because you new to the block, you ain't got you ain't got no shoes on your foot. But look here, bro, they ain't much, but I got these shoes. They got holes in them, and you know I normally double up. See, that's a giving from the heart kind of thing. You already ain't got nothing. You already out here struggling. I already ain't got much to give. But since you coming out here with me, let me see what I got that I can help make you better. Oh, that ain't a coat? Well, it got holes in it. But here go this coat. Now, see, us primitive folk, right? We might feel some kind of way. Oh, you gonna hand me a coat with holes in it? What I'm gonna do? But that's all you got in this world. Now you get there with the millionaire. Nah, you can't have this coat. You mean it's $1,000 coat? If you cold, I gotta blanket. You know, so some of us are giving us out of heart. What kind of heart you got though?
Exactly. We're gonna do it like this. We're gonna close out with Curtis, but we're gonna go to Annette before we close out with Curtis. Annette, what's on your heart?
What's on my heart? I really love it. But you know what? I'm still gonna go back to give, and it shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over, shall men and give unto your bosom. We always want to quote what giving means to somebody else or another person. And that's not up to us. It's just like the person on the street who asks you for money. And some people will say, hey, I'm not giving him any money because he's just going to go buy a beer or something like that. Well, personally, I don't really care if I give a gentleman on the street $1 and he goes to buy a beer. Maybe that's his comfort for that day. But you know what? Let me give you some synonyms about give. Give means yield, afford, pay, hold, throw, have, make, gift, present, devote, render, return, generate, impart, lead, pass, establish, sacrifice, pass, hand, reach, turn, over, dedicate, consecrate, commit, apply, grant, move over, give way, ease up, feed, contribute, chip in, kick in, collapse, fall in, cave in,
good
break,
Lord.
founder,
And that's gonna be Tuesday. It's gonna be Tuesday in a minute.
Because of that, let's expand this conversation, and I thank you guys so very much for today. I hope that you understand where I'm coming from.
Absolutely. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? I see you, Rico. Curtis, what's on your heart?
Well, I, 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 think pretty much what has been said has been said. You know, when you give it from the heart, anything, I think it's time we start to understand that, or it's time we need to take a look at the thought that my gift is unconditional, and that as a human species, we have got to come from putting so many conditions on the things that we give, the things that we do, the places that we go, the things that we believe, that the condition alone adulterates the whole process. The condition that you put in just made the process seem phony. I try and live my life operating from what we would call in theater an organic space. And what that means is, if I'm operating from an organic space, it's basically a space of reality. It could happen. Given to the man, I feel the sister. I'm not concerned with if he's going to go and buy a drink.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not concerned with that because my time may come. And God may look at me and say, I'm standing there. And he may look at me and say, you know what, I sent the angel before you. And yeah, he had some alcoholic issues or whatever. But you chose to judge him for the issue and not give him that $5 because that $5 is going to get him another meal.
Mm-hmm.
So I try not to base my giving and or my thought, Raheem, honestly, with conditions. People out there, you know what I mean? So I hear what everybody says. You know, I keep current and I try my best to understand what side of the tracks folks is coming from. And if you can understand that, you know, I didn't go into it right here. I work with the homeless population. 18 to 24. You think we're seeing it bad with adults? You look at that population. That population has got it really bad. But that's another show. But I've always, because I've been a cheerful giver, I'll end it like this for the young babes in Christ. Because I've been a cheerful giver, God has spared my life when I was supposed to be dead.
Mm-hmm.
Not halfway dead, not at the hospital, not squeaking by. No, dead. So just try your best to give unconditionally. And don't worry about people all out of what's going to happen. Give unconditionally and see, God bless you.
Good deal. Good deal. Rico, you wanted to say something, brother?
Yeah, you know, I realize in this society, especially over here in America, we get crossed up on words again. And some words that we use are supposed to be positive, but for some reason, this society has made them negative. Like the word giving. You know, in this capitalist environment that we live in, we like to consume, obtain, hoard, make as much as we can to make ourselves comfortable. You know, so the word giving almost comes off as you giving to people that don't want to try as hard. You know, and we get it confused. And sometimes we shouldn't look at it as giving. We're helping. You're helping somebody, and as human beings, you are supposed to want to help improve or progress lives when you see they need help. You see, when we think about giving or gifting, that takes some financial. Somewhere people are associating with having to spend some money. So some people don't give away their money. They don't want to give away their money. Let me apologize to Annette too, right quick. I didn't want to call you Annette Benicia. I was just talking but you know, people don't like to give because they have that Scrooge mentality. And when they do give, it's all surrounded around how much something was valued financially, money-wise. So if you think about just the help end of it, sometimes you don't have to spend $1 to help.
Yeah.
We don't have to spend So we can just take that word out of it, giving, and helping the homeless, helping those in need. Then you can understand how good it feels to help.
Exactly. That's good.
And they associate giving with socialism, which isn't a bad thing. Helping isn't bad. But when you can associate, make it go against capitalism, then you can make it bad, especially when you favor getting all the money that you want to have.
Good deal. We got another caller. We're going to go to the caller. But Sheila, you wanted to say something real quickly?
I did. Okay, y'all got to hear this because I promise you, Raheem is going to mute me before I get done. Okay? You can't be given no matter how hard you try. You can't be God's gift.
Okay, and we got a caller. See what she doing? See what she doing? Lord, my Jesus. Hey, Rico, hold on, Rico, and Leonard, you still with us, Leonard? Hold on, we're going to get out here, but I want you to hear this. I want you to hear this, Leonard. I want you to hear this, Rico. Take a listen to this here now. We got somebody on the line with us right now. They just hung up. You knew I was gonna do it. They early for the day. They late for the day, but early for tomorrow. Our brother Pete just called in at 10:17. 10:17.
He thought you was extending the hour.
See that? See, boy, look here. I love how y'all stick together, though. I love that unity, boy. That's beautiful. But
Mr. Leonard, I ain't muted me when I was trying to sing our song.
Oh my Lord, Leonard, what's going on at 3 o'clock today? Leonard, you there? Oh, Leonard just hung up. Rico, what's going on at 3 o'clock today?
If you missed today's show and would like to catch it in its entirety, you can tune in to www.DKM Media Group or Facebook on DKM 1.1, DKM Radio 1.1, right?
Yeah.
10 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you're from the country, we say Atlanta time.
Good deal. Sheila, pray us out, sister. No singing.
Oh man, I was gonna sing the whole prayer.
I figured you was.
Dear Heavenly Father, we come first giving you honor and praise, God, for who you are, Lord. Lord, we just thank you for your blessings, Lord God. We thank you for covering us in this weather, God, that no hurt, harm, and danger came, Lord God. Lord, we pray for those that are traveling in this weather, God. Lord, bless everyone that's listening today, Lord God. Bless their households, Lord God. And Lord God, we're going to stop right now, God. And we're going to pray for the homeless, those that are in lack, Lord God. For you said that we seek ye first, Lord God, the kingdom of heaven, that all things will be added upon us, Lord God. And Lord God, we pray a financial blessing, Lord God. We pray a healing, Lord God, over our land, Lord God. For we know that there's nothing too hard for you, Lord God. Lord God, we thank you. We love you. We bow at your feet, Lord God. For there is none like you who will lay down his life for a friend, God. We thank you for soul salvation, Lord God. Created us a clean heart. And Lord God, Lord, let us walk in your way, Lord God. Help us to be more like you, Jesus, to give out the abundance of our hearts, Lord God, because out of our hearts come issues of life, God. Remove our stony hearts and place it with your heart, God. And we love you and we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. There you go. Now the preacher done stood up. Now the preacher, I bet you won't sing now, preacher. Whoa.
Victory is mine. Victory today.
That's why I love my mute button. That's why I love the mute button. See, that mute button works so well. It works so very well. I love the mute button. But
we know who tone deaf. We definitely know who tone deaf.
Look at Rico. She's still over there just singing away, boy. We can't hear not a word. Girl, you're singing so good right now. Keep singing. You're sounding good. Keep singing. Good Lord, you're singing.
Victory is mine.
You gotta help her. See, I got a mute button with her too. Now y'all got a duet going on. Y'all go ahead and do the duet. You got Sheila and Goddess. They singing away, some dancing and all kind of things.
One sharp and one flat.
Ain't number one true. Well, listen, we're going to get out of here. We're about to get out of here. Let me see. I'm going to call. She's Pastor Grace said she was about to call in too, but she was gonna be late for the day, but early for tomorrow. So I think she changed her mind. But listen, we'll talk to y'all tomorrow. This has been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody, and please know and understand, give, or like Rico said, help. You know, there's a way that it can be done. We can all come together. You know, it's so much easier. We can all have victory if we all pull in the same direction. It's so much harder when we pull in different directions. If we all pull in the same direction, we all could win together collectively. It don't take a lot, just a little bit from everybody, but do it from the heart. Don't do it expecting. Don't do it so you're gonna bring it back up in their face later on. Don't do all that. If you're gonna do all that, just keep what you got. Just keep what you got. Just keep it. Don't go out there, say I'm gonna give it to somebody, and then you're gonna throw it back up in their face later. They don't want to hear that. You did it. You did it. Hopefully, you did it from your heart, and leave it right there. It is now. She over there just a smile. Look here. I'm scared. That's what she thinking. So I ain't gonna say a word. I ain't gonna say. Look, I'm gonna leave it. Oh Lord.
I just put $sign. She was strong. You can give freely.
Look here. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you like my daughter used to tell me all the time. You know, growing up, we better get out of here. She said, Daddy. I said, yeah. She said, don't Biggie say more money, more problems? I said, yeah, baby. He said that in one of his songs. She said, well, I'm willing to take some of your problems away from you. Give me some money. I said, oh Lord, man, she was little when I said, man, how you think of stuff like that? You must be your daddy's daughter thinking of some mess like that. But listen, it is 10:23. It's time for you to get out of here for the day. I want to thank you all for joining us, and more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Real Men Being Men, the Morning Glow, for being a part. Yeah, Rico, they running together on me, brother. Being a part of your morning. It is now 10:23. You're about to exit, but before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us, because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody, and give them a hug, because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. And we shine some of this light of you from the morning glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in, and let your light so shine. You have a great day. Love somebody. You just might find some love in return. Wouldn't that be a beautiful thing? All right, we out.
All your heart.